Hey everyone. Just getting my tea. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Or I guess afternoon technically. That's a lot of glare. Oh wait, it's coming through my headset. There we go. Still pretty early. I wanted to play more against the storm, but don't have time for that. My cat's enjoying her new fort we got her for Christmas. Alright, let me go grab my tea. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. What did I miss? Oh, that's what I also need. My breakfast. Hello?
How are we doing?
Doing good. You?
Not bad.
I'm just having some breakfast. Or brunch, I guess, technically.
Hey.
Alright. Where is everyone?
I don't know.
I guess it is still pretty early.
No, they've got like 20 seconds according to my clock. Dare people be late to D&D?
How dare they?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello. Good morning, afternoon. Happy New Year.
Yes.
2023.
Shadowstalker for the new year.
Yo.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Shadowstalkers are assembled.
One, two, three. We're missing. No, we're missing. Everybody's here.
Yeah, looks like we're all here. Ripple, are you okay scribing today?
Yeah, okay.
Alright. And Tal, you were the previous scribe. Do you want to give us a recap?
Sure. So, we went to the Warforged and to Chiron's place and left a bit of our stuff behind. We told the Warforged about the Mind Flayers and the Mindstorm that's hidden below. Then we went to Aronir, told him about the Mindstorm as well, and he's gonna use some minions disguised as us to search for it. He opened the portal to the Shadowfell. We killed the minions that came out of it and went to the other side. And we watched the portal until it closed. Then we found some tracks that might belong to some cultists of the Shadowlords and told, what was his name, about it, like the Empire about it, that there might be cultists on the other side, on the Gaian side. Then we followed the tracks and found a druid camping in a forest, which we befriended, and we took a long rest with her. And then she led us to the village, the Shadowfell that she lives in. We talked to the guards, and they led us to their town hall, basically, to the Raven Queen Temple.
Alright. So it is the 26th of winter at 12 in the afternoon in the Shadowfell. So yeah, we left off, the group was heading into the Raven Queen Temple. Is there... Well, I guess you were agreeing to go in, right? You weren't trying to resist or anything.
No, and we weren't trying to hide either, right? The plan was to kind of be open about where we come from.
I mean, they
Yeah,
already
well,
know, so.
Yeah.
All right. So you are led inside.
Hold on. I think if I remember well, we learned that the children of the night are actually not friendly with the Raven Queen priest, right?
I
Yeah.
think there are things the children of the shadow, their cultist thing. I think.
Yeah, the cultists. Okay, because that's the guys who were following from the portal, the children of the shadows track.
Yeah, I believe it was.
I mean, we don't know for sure that that's them. We just found, like, footprints and stuff.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Not
it was.
100%.
I believe it was Shara you were talking to who mentioned that the Children of Shadow are enemies to the state and to the Raven Queen Temple.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's what kind of decided us to go legit and not sneak in.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. So you are led past a couple of the what looks like priests. The main area of the temple looks like a normal temple would. There are several worship areas and kind of a larger worship area, but you're kind of led into the back, and they bring you to a room, and basically the guard says, "Wait here a moment. We'll bring someone to speak with you." And he kind of closes the door and locks it and walks back into the temple. Do you want to do anything, or are you just going to wait?
Wait,
So,
locks the door behind or in front of us?
He basically brings you into the room and kind of locks you in.
is there any windows or anything we can see out of that room or not?
No, there's no windows in here, though the door doesn't look terribly strong. You could probably, you could probably break it down if you really wanted to.
I know.
Yeah, the door itself looks like just a small, not thin, but, well, yeah, I guess a small, thin door.
Alright. I just have Dija crawl on the wall just above the door and kind of hang in there. She can start doing her web if she wants to.
Alright, so Deja's keeping an eye on the door. So a couple of minutes pass, say like 5 minutes or so, when there is a click and the door opens, and a Shatterkai, somewhat armored individual walks in. He's wearing a breastplate, has a couple of scimitars on his side, purplish eyes. He says, "My apologies for the wait. My name is Ruvain, and I'm told that you are here from off-world." And he gives you a polite bow. He says, what exactly are you all doing in the Shadowfell, if you don't mind me asking?"
Hello, I'm Ripple. We're here to deal with a cultist problem that is happening in Gaian.
He
I
says,
don't remember the name of the cult. What's the name of the cult again?
The cult of shadow.
"The Children
Cult
of
of
Shadow." He says, "Yes, the guards told me you were hunting some of them. But he says, what brought you here specifically from your world? The Children of Shadow, as far as I know, only operate within the Shadowfell."
Well, they took some of our friends prisoner and are preparing to sacrifice them.
So I could see why you'd want to track them down then. He says, "Can you tell me..." Or go ahead.
Why we're here in this city specifically is because there was a portal nearby that they were using. So we think their base is around here. So we come to the city so that we could get the protection from the Shadow Queen, from like the shadows, and we can prepare here to help deal with the cult problem.
I see. He says, "Why don't you tell me more about your experiences with them and what exactly happened, if you don't mind?"
Well, there was a Shadowlord or two in our realm who we banished back here.
He looks curiously. He says, "Was in your realm." Wait. You're saying there are multiple Shadow Lords?
There's
Yes.
Gaivan and there's Malak.
Gaivok and Malek, yes. Malek is a student of Gaivok, and Gaivok has been freed
He says,
recently.
"Well, I'm familiar. Well, not familiar, but I know of Shadow Lord Gaivok. I did not know there were multiples. And you're saying you banished him from your world back to here?"
We killed their host.
Huh. He says, "Well,
Well, one of them, Gaivok, actually teleported back here, returned to the Shadowfell by himself. For the others, the students, we killed his host, like Tal say.
He says, that's concerning. I thought Gaivok was trapped within your world."
Yes, yeah, not anymore. The dwarves have kept him in chain for centuries, but he has found a way to free himself.
Can you tell me when this happened? When he was banished back here?
We tell him the time that I spent for us in Guyane when we met him in the courtyard.
I see. So not too long ago. And you're certain of all this. What makes you think it was the Shadow Lord that you encountered?
Well, their name first. It seems like you're familiar with their name, at least Gavok, so that's kind of a confirmation. But they have some powers about some kind of void energy that we never have seen before.
And he says, maybe you should tell me the whole story of your encounter with the Shadow Lord and the cultists. And you don't have to actually roleplay the recap, but
Yeah.
do you want to tell him about everything that you've encountered?
Do we have like a telepathic communication between ourselves or not?
No, because
No. Okay.
I don't have telepathic bond.
Okay. So I'm kind of looking at the others.
If you look at Riven can talk to you and then kind of talk to everyone, but it's got to be like a you tell him, he tells someone type thing.
Okay. So if there is a way to do that telepathically, I would certainly check with Riven and ask for everybody's opinion before we respond.
All right, give me a second. Let me just check in with anyone. Tal, do you want to tell him everything?
Yeah, sure.
Ripple, do you want to tell him everything and think the answer?
Just sort of frowns at you, and he's like, "Well, like we wasn't here for everything, so like we only came for the last bit, and we haven't actually dealt with the Children of Shadow at all yet. Should we tell them that we haven't dealt with the Children of Shadow at all yet? And it's all been these two."
Riven will just look straight back at Cal and just go. Ripple and I say it's entirely your decision. Tal says yes.
Let's tell all then.
All right. So you tell him, I guess, starting with your...
Out of curiosity, I want to see if I can do this. I know I can encode thoughts which take it out of my head, but can I encode thoughts and take it out of Tal and Calgrod's and just telepathically send it him? Like, save time?
Send it who?
To, oh god, what's his name? Riven. Encode thoughts, pull the thoughts out of their heads. And then
I mean, you can link the ability.
So that one.
So you casting
So I don't know
a
if I
spell?
can do it to... It's a cantrip. I don't know if it's can only do it to my mind, though, or if I can do it to other people's.
I'm assuming it's only your mind.
Yeah, it is specifically your mind.
Okay, I don't do that then.
And it's actually.
It was me gonna do some Harry Potter Dumbledore shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's your mind.
Nah, no, I do it. Don't worry. I just thought it'd be a fun way to.
All right, so you start telling your story about, I guess, how you first came to the city of Issyk, your encounters with some of the undead there, which led you to meet with the Shadowlords. Is there any information you're leaving out of your story?
No, we tell him that he took over our friend Thorn when he first appeared to us, and we didn't realize their ability to take over hosts before. I think we kind of we no, I don't think there's anything we have to kind of leave behind if the children of the shadows are hostile. We just kind of point out to how the Midnight Pyre and the Children of the Shadow were kind of fighting each other, and some of our friends were actually from the Midnight Pyre.
All right. So time is passing as you're giving the tale, and then you talk about how you encountered Tal and saved him. And what about Ripple and Riven? Or I guess they're not telling their story, so you wouldn't tell them about their heritage and why they're here.
No. We want the only companions that we would mention would be the one that were working for the Midnight Pyre that kind of helped us when we attacked, when we kind of saved some of them and stuff like that as part of the fight. What was that? And against the cultists.
So you mentioned the Midnight Pyre. Give me an insight check. And any of you can do this.
Oh, I'm proficient.
So you noticed, I'll say Riven and, I'll say Riven. You noticed he didn't make it obvious, but you think he might not be a fan of the Midnight Pyre, or at least one of his reactions would, or his reaction to hearing their name kind of makes you think that he, yeah, you don't know if they're enemies of the Queen or the Raven Queen, but
So,
it was definitely a little bit weird.
Out of curiosity, with that insight and his reaction, would I get the feeling that I should do a detect thoughts just to get more, or that I've just generally got the sense of how he feels?
I mean, you could do whatever you want. Though casting a spell might be a little bit.
No, because I've got this psionic sorcery thing which lets me do detect thoughts and just burn sorcery points, and I don't actually have to do any of the stuff. It's like
Yeah. So as long as they don't have any type of way of detecting magic, they wouldn't know you're casting a spell.
I'm just debating if I think it's worth. No, I won't. I'll hold off because it's just him disliking people. Cool. Okay. I will tell Calgrad though that he doesn't like them.
Okay. Right. Yeah, when I get the information, I'm kind of trying to brush it aside as we were kind of casually involved with them because they were fighting the Shadow of the Children, but I try to downplay our kind of relation to people like now I don't remember their name, but I think we met at least two of them were members of the Midnight Pyre.
Give me a charisma check.
Right.
Because I know you don't have persuasion.
Yeah.
Or deception. Yeah, deception's fine. Yeah, so he just nods. As you finish your story, he has a look of concern on his face. He says, that seems much more complicated than just getting your friends back. It sounds like there's something really going on here. Would you excuse me a moment? I need to go tell some of my superiors about this.
Sure.
And he would nod. He says, would you like anything to eat or drink? My apologies. I should have asked you when I first came in here.
Well, we would like the authorization to kind of go on our business in your town, and we have some equipment to acquire, and maybe we can reconvene here tomorrow.
He says, "Oh, yeah, I would just have to get you your papers for staying here. Being that you're not citizens, there's a bit of a process. Uh, we don't use currency the same as you do. It's kind of a different way of doing trade, but we can provide you some basic accommodations and possibly some basic gear if you agree to serve the city while you're here."
Don't worry, dear. Where I come from, we don't use currency at all.
He nods. He says, "So,
We have some bell coins. Are
oh."
those not currency?
He says those are actually contraband.
Oh, okay.
How many do you have? He looks curious now.
Like
Doesn't matter. It's contraband.
19.
He says, "Well, I would. I don't have to. Well, I'm not going to force you to turn them over, as there are more important things at play right now. But if you are willing to turn them over, I'd highly suggest it, as you could get in trouble if you're found possessing them. They are a currency used by some underground organizations like the Midnight Pyre and even the Children of Shadow, who don't operate within the law."
Ah, okay. Okay. Well, yes, we'll keep them. I mean, if you don't mind, we will keep them, but not obviously use them in any way.
He nods. He says, "That's fine. Give me a moment, and I'll go get your paperwork ready, as well as let my superiors know about all this.
Well,
I'll get your paperwork first, because I think there's going to be some conversations I need to have." He says, "There are a couple of places in the city you could stay, and I'll tell you about where the supply depots are, so you can use those to get some basic supplies that you might need to help you on your journey to find your friends. Do you have any idea where your friends might be, where the midnight or where the Children of Shadow might have taken them?"
the Eldrin's Watch.
"The fort? Really?"
Yep.
Ah, interesting. Yes, would you give me a moment? And he's gonna take off unless anyone says anything.
We'll take some tea whilst we wait.
He nods and walks out. Does anyone want to do anything, or are you just gonna wait? He didn't. They didn't seem to lock the door this time.
Did you mention night weather?
I don't think the group mentioned night weather.
Okay.
We did, yeah. We explained that they were doing. We probably explained about the ritual, because if we explained that we fought, but maybe we kind of kept quiet about the object of the ritual.
Yeah, I can say you didn't mention night weather, since it didn't have much to do with.
Okay.
Well, I guess.
I mean,
that
I would be interested in if he showed a reaction to that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in my head, we were not hiding anything, so I probably would have mentioned it without putting too much emphasis on it.
So he probably wouldn't have known what you were talking about, or at least it didn't seem like he didn't react much to hearing about night weather. I mean, as a soldier, it's possible he just doesn't know what night weather is. Alright, so you're waiting. That actually took a little while to tell your whole story. So I'll say it's probably about 1:30 at this point.
Riven will actually ask, what the fuck is night weather?
Well, so in the legend of Gaian, night weather is kind of the first introduction of the. We don't know exactly what it is, but it's a city that occurred upon Gaian, brought the humans in, and somehow the start of the cataclysm started after night weather. It's like it's the origin story for the humans of Gaian, but we don't know exactly what it is.
I don't know.
All right.
Right.
So,
Coming. Carry on.
So, I think I've been told a little about night weather previously, but now I've got an ancient amulet that can talk to me. Does Taruva know anything about the about night weather that Cal doesn't?
your amulet. You ask it. You're addressing it.
Yeah,
Are you saying this out loud or in your head?
in my head, because I've learned how to do that because character corruption.
Yeah. So. Taruva or Tyruva says, yes, the first city is where your people come from, or sorry, where the humans come from. I don't know much about it, but it's also where the constants come from as well. He says, what do you want to know about it? I guess I could tell you a little bit.
So it's where you guys are from. Cool. Interesting.
He says, well,
That's...
sort of. It's a little bit more complicated than that. But the constants originated from a magic associated with the humans and their arrival in Gaian.
Okay. Interesting. I don't need more for now.
Alright, so time is passing. It is probably about closer to 20 minutes before he gets back. So around 1:50 he returns with some paperwork and hands some of it to each of you. He says, you just have to basically sign the bottom, and then you will have your submission for your licenses for visitors outside of the Shadowfell to our empire.
What is it I'm signing? Because I don't sign anything unless I know exactly what's on it.
He says it's just basically that you are willing to abide by the laws of the city. There's nothing too out of the ordinary. Basically, just, yeah, I mean, that you'll abide by the laws, that you will abide by what's expected of visitors, which, I mean, as far as the laws go, it's pretty much what you'd expect from any city you visit. Do not start violence. Don't use your weapons or magics except in your defense. Things like that.
That's really not like any city I have ever been to. Everywhere I go, you can do what you want. So, not really. I think Riven's gonna use disguise self to create like a pair of spectacle glasses and like read the fine print of this contract because you don't trust no contract.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a fucking fairy. I'm not signing anything without knowing everything. This contract.
So give me intelligence checks, I guess, as you're reading through
Let me
this.
go over it all like I'm a lawyer.
Looking for anything that seems sus to you.
Did he give Sprig a copy of the contract? Because like Sprig's here with us and isn't invisible.
Probably not. He probably just gave it to the four of you.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, you don't Riven and Ripple. You don't see anything too out of the ordinary, or well, you don't see, I guess, anything that seems tricky to you. And Tal, I'll say it does seem fairly I don't want to say standard, but it's the things you'd expect of someone while in a civilization city. That you will basically not cause commotions unless no raising your weapons against people unless in self-defense. There's also something about serving the city to the best of your abilities, which that is a little bit odd to you. And it seems like
Ask him
this.
about it. Like, what might that entail?
Says, well, because of what you've told me, I'm guessing that the guard will want to speak to you more, and the Raven Queen priests. Just do your best to be honest with them and help them while you're within the city. And in return, we give you food, shelter, and whatever basic equipment that you might need.
But there's like no army attacking tomorrow that we're signing up to fight.
Says no, you don't need to. Well, if there is a an attack on the city, you'd be expected to serve to help defend it, but there hasn't been an attack on any of the Empire cities in quite some time.
Yeah, no, I'm not agreeing to that.
He says, well, it's kind of required to stay within the city. He says, but like I said, it's very unlikely you'll be conscripted. We have our own soldiers. And as I said, it's not something... I mean, if there was an attack on the city, you'd probably have to fight to defend yourselves anyway. So, unless you just flee.
The wing. You have seen the wing, right? I could just fly away.
As well, you could try to fly away. It would depend on what we were being attacked by.
So I guess like when Ripple was reading this contract, he was like looking for clauses that would bind him to have to aid the city. If the conditions for our side of the contract are we get to remain in the city, does leaving the city and the Empire then releases from our...
Yeah, so it's basically while you're in the city, you're supposed to help the Empire in any way that they kind of, in reasonable ways that are asked of you. And in return, you get food, shelter, and basic equipment as needed.
It says while we're in the city and we can always leave.
Yeah, and once you leave the city, or once you leave, one of the settlements, your obligations are over. So at that point, you can do whatever you want. It's just while you're within the city and gaining aid from the city.
I'm telepathically asking Raven to check if there's anything magical in this contract.
Oh, shit. Right, magical. On it. Sorry. I don't have detect magic. Shit. Do I? No, I don't. I don't have it. Okay. Do I do an Arcana chat?
So the contract doesn't seem like it's on any type of magical paper. It would just seem like a written contract to you. It's possible there's something magical about it, but you don't. I mean, you have to use detect magic.
I'll just say to Calgren, no, it's nothing like a contract you'd be signing if you went to the Feywild. It should be all right. It's just pen and paper.
Right.
Not
be paranoid enough to check.
I don't have detect magic.
I have it, but it takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, we can wait.
Okay, apparently we are paranoid enough, so I'm gonna...
I'm a fairy from the Feywild. I'm a fairy from the Feywild.
Yeah.
I think any contract's fucking dodgy.
So are you casting it as a spell, or are you going to try to do it as a ritual?
It's a ritual.
Alright, so he's waiting for you to sign, and you're beginning to do these odd chants.
I will say to him that, as per your laws, we can use magic in self-defense, so we are using magic.
He says, well, you can actually use magic in any way that's not hostile. But what exactly is he casting?
And detect magic.
Oh, he says, well, the contract isn't magically binding. It's just a signed agreement, but you're welcome to check if you wish.
Ripple just obviously looks at himself and then looks at Sprig, and then looks at Riven, and then back to himself until Ruvain gets the point. With Faye, contracts are binding.
Do you say that?
No, I'm just like making it very obvious that I'm
Oh.
specifically looking at the Fae and then at the contract.
Well, you don't know how much this soldier would know about the Feywild. I mean, it's not like the even creatures of the Feywild don't usually travel between planes. It's more reserved for the more powerful creatures who can planeswalk. So you imagine it's similar in the Shadowfell. Like most fairies wouldn't know anything about the Shadowfell or its people. But anyway, he waits patiently. You finish your ritual, and no, the contract is not magical. You would notice that Ruvain has some sort of amulet on him that's magical. And it looks like his weapons are magical and his armor. So he does have some magical items on him. He's probably not your average soldier, unless all of their soldiers have magical armaments. But he says, all right, is it sufficient?
I guess so. Nice amulet, by the way.
He looks down, almost as if he forgot he's wearing it, and he says, oh, thank you. It was a gift from, well, it's, yeah. And he just kind of trails off. So, you sign the contracts?
I
Yes.
am going to mage hand my contract up to Sprig for Sprig to sign it.
Alright, so the fairy, is he going to appear or just sign it?
Oh, he's been here like the whole time. He's going to sign it, like just visibly sign the contract.
Oh, okay, so he hasn't been invisible. Alright. So, Sprig would sign the contract. Is he just signing for himself or for you?
For himself.
Okay. He would collect the contracts, and now you gave him your name, didn't you, Ripple? Yeah. He would say,
Yeah.
oh, I would need your signature on this.
But then how does Sprig enter the city?
Says, oh, I had assumed Sprig was just a pet of yours. I can get him a contract as well. My apologies, I shouldn't have assumed.
Okay, I need to roll that. To see if this guy notices, like, that Ripple's trying to hide how furious he is at this guy at the moment for calling Sprig a pet.
Riven's just backed away slowly, just like, he's gonna blow!
His eye just twitches. But he nods and says, all right, let me get you a contract for yourself then. And he would just go and get one for you as well.
Cool. I will sign it when I get one.
Okay. So with that all taken care of, he says there is a inn area for travelers near the entrance of town up here. You can stay there, and there's an items depot here that can get you some basic gear. Feel free to travel amongst the city and speak with whoever you wish, just as agreed, no attacking anyone unless in self-defense, or if you think they are enemies of the city. But we would prefer that you tell us if you encounter anyone like the Children of Shadow or anyone else who could be a danger. He says, we'll be in touch with you shortly. I need to go tell some people about what has occurred, and yeah, we'll come looking for you. Because there's probably going to be some questions asked as well of, he says, more specifics of the Children of Shadow. And he just kind of goes to give you a handshake, basically, or what appears like what might be some sort of handshake to them.
Sprig. I was going to say, Sprig is going to go for that and use his heart sight whilst he does so. So, like, the guy can make a charisma check.
So he does know he's being affected by something.
Probably.
How would he react to that? So does like this sprig just like fly up and touch him, or how's that working?
Well, as he's going to, like, shake people's hands, Sprig will shake his hand, and then it's just as he touches him.
Okay. Yeah, sure. He'll try to do a saving throw. He doesn't know what's going on. So he would look at Sprig and say, what did you do?
Sprig will just, like, explain that he's just a fae, and sometimes when he touches people, he gets a glimpse into their alignment.
Alright. Well, he seems calm. Though maybe a little bit, I don't know how you explain his emotional state. Calm, but probably troubled by something. Alignment, lawful neutral. And yeah, he's not undead or anything. Or a celestial or fiend. So he kind of raises an eyebrow at Sprig, looks to you, and say, just be careful who you use magic on. While magic is somewhat plentiful here, people might take it wrong if you are casting spells on them, especially without telling them.
It's not but it's just like we kind of just have it all the time. Kind of hard to turn off sometimes.
As well, I don't know much about the Feywild, but I know that using magic without telling someone you're using it is considered very rude, and some people might actually become hostile because of it. So just be cautious.
Okay, so we can't touch anyone. Understood. I'm just
I don't
playing it
wanna-
off like it's something that we don't control. It just happens.
He says, if
No,
that
I
is
wasn't planning on touching anyone here anyway.
He says, if that is how it works, then yes, I would refrain from touching any of the people here if they would be affected by some sort of magic because of it.
Don't touch me. You can't control my magic.
We didn't want to be rude and leave you hanging on the handshake.
He nods. He says, it's fair. There's probably differences in our culture.
Riven hasn't shook his hand. Riven's gonna do mage hand to shake his hand.
Alright, he'll shake your mage hand.
I will then do the same, but my mage hand is completely invisible, and then I'll look at it and just be like, yeah, that doesn't work.
Alright, so he would release you all from the temple. What do you want to do?
We're looking for a room for the night first, right?
Shara.
Shara is outside. She was waiting for you, so she comes up smiling and says, did everything go all right?
So
Yeah,
far,
Well, as expected. Did they at least bring you some tea?
She says, no. Were they supposed to?
Yes.
Just manners.
She says, no, I've just been waiting out here. I assume they would send you to one of the inns for the evening.
Yeah, they've told us where to go.
She says, alright.
Did she talk to us about pericoins outside?
I don't remember what she said about pale coins, or if you asked her.
Yeah, she did tell us that they were like a contraband coin that was used by the black market.
Wait, that's what he told us.
Yeah,
No,
she
she
also
said it
told us
was
the same.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think she did mention it. I mean, it's been 2 weeks, though, so it's understandable that you may have forgotten.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be on the up and up for today, go check out the supply caches he pointed us at, and then chill for the evening and go to the other markets tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. So where are you
Well,
headed?
I'm looking for first in to know where we're going to stay for the night or whatever passes as a night here, and then I need to buy some components for spells.
All right. So you're headed to the inn first.
Um, you mentioned some supply caches where we could like officially get supplies. Hit those up and then the inn. Unless like the supply caches are literally just food and stuff like that, then.
Yeah. So you kind of head in the direction that he said, I guess.
Yeah.
If you get to the supply depot over here, you'd see a bit of a line. There's a couple of Shadowkai there kind of waiting, talking to each other. And there's a couple of basically counters that people are walking up to and talking and leaving with little packs of what you assume are some kind of supplies. So you're going to wait in line?
Where is it? Where is the inn? So this is a supply depot, but
Oh, the inn is north of here. He pointed this one out as where you'd stay for the evening. Do you want to go
yeah,
there or?
yeah. Let's go there first.
I mean, does it seem like they have like a food problem, or is there enough for everyone?
I mean, the elves here look healthy. It doesn't look like there's like bread lines down the block or anything. The lines aren't that long. There's just a little bit of a line, probably because a bunch of people came here.
And it just looks like it's general like food and living supplies here.
Yeah,
Or
you
does it look...
see some people leaving with mostly food. The most common thing people are leaving with is food, but you do see a couple of others like here and there getting like maybe pots and pans or maybe like a broom or something, like general
So,
living things.
so nothing that we would realistically need. Cool.
Yeah. Well, do you want to wait and try to talk to one of the counters, or do you want to go to the inn first?
For
We can do
me,
the
yeah.
end.
Okay. So you head up to the inn. Going inside, there are several Shadowkai speaking in the lobby, and there's a innkeeper, or you assume would be an innkeeper, behind the desk there. He would motion you all to come over and greet you. He says, "Welcome. Do you have your papers?"
Yep. Showing the paper.
And he takes a
The
look
signed
and
paper.
nods and says, "Visitors from another world. Huh. Have not had someone like that in the inn. I don't think ever. Well,
Oh,
welcome." He slides you some keys. He says, if you wish food or drink, you just go in the back here. Otherwise, the rooms are yours to use as you need.
how much? How do we pay for them?
Says, oh, they're taken care of as guests of the city. You don't have to pay.
Oh, thank you.
He says, of course.
Looking to get some component for my spells. Where should I head?
He says, I think you could probably go to one of the supply depots. Who are you working for? I assume the church?
Yes.
Something like that you might have to ask the church to provide, though more simple ingredients could probably be supplied by the depot.
Okay.
Nods.
Is my pet will be a problem? She's very well behaved.
Pet?
I'm showing the spider behind me.
Oh God, that's a very large spider. He says. Yeah, I suppose it should be all right. I'm guessing she's trained not to attack.
Correct. She's
Yeah.
very well.
He says, yeah, as long as she's well trained, yeah, that should be all right.
Aye, so checking with the others what they want to do, but I mean, I don't know if we split for buying stuff or if we stay together. What do you guys think?
I honestly have no idea.
I think we should stick
think-
together.
Alright.
Yeah, we should be together.
Alright, so I do need to buy this component. So I'm going to kind of check the room, make sure everything is fine, and then head back down to the depot.
All right, yeah, you go up to your room. It's kind of a smaller. I mean, what you'd probably expect from a hotel room. Nothing too fancy.
Free one.
Yeah. You leave any stuff there, or are you just heading back out?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Well, I leave DJ in there actually.
All right. Deja stays within the room. Might be better. All right. Deja will wait here for you.
Alright.
All right. So, what about everyone else? Are you doing anything here, or are we just heading to the supply depot?
Riven will go up to his room and then disguise self as a little drow elf kid.
Shatter Kai or a Drow?
Shadowkai. Sorry, I got it mixed up.
No worries.
Which one's the one here? Them ones.
These are the Shatter Kai, yeah. All right,
Them
so
ones.
you look like you haven't seen many shorter elves. Most of the elves you've seen have been, full size, but you assume there must be Shatter Kai kids, so you just turn into a smaller looking elf, younger.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
I'll make all my clothes like darkish and brooding and like black, dark blues, purple.
All right. Anyone else doing anything?
I'll cast disguise self and just become more colourful.
Just to stand
Higher
out more.
contrast ratio. Just yeah.
All right. So yeah, you test the this realm's ability to mute your colors as you become super colorful. Definitely gonna stand out.
Cool.
All right. So the group is heading. I assume after that you head to the depot again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're definitely getting looks from people. You especially with Ripple's super colorful outfit. You're getting a couple of stares and whispers, but no one's really, doing anything to impede you. You get to the depot again. It seems the line has mostly gone away. You walk up to the counter, and the elf there asks, "What are you looking for today?"
Hi, I'm interested to get some component for my spells. I actually need a platinum ring being forged, 50 gold piece value. I'm kind of not describing the value because I know they do trade, but I'm explaining what I want and the focus, like a jeweled horn or a glass eye focus for 100 gold piece value.
He gives you a bit of a weird look. Do you have your papers?
Yep.
He
Putting the
says,
paper on the table.
he takes a look. It's like, guest of the city, other realm, signed to the guards. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any of those things. Is there anything you need food-wise, or maybe something, as far as spell components, we have pouches. Would a spell component pouch do?
No, I'm already set with those. I need specific component for some of my spells.
He says, well, you might need to talk to the church about that. They
Alright.
would probably have the more valuable things. We don't generally outfit, well, I guess, mercenaries of your caliber. My apologies.
Alright, fair enough. That's fine. I
Alright.
kind of leave the space for my friends if anyone wants anything.
What's your passive perception?
18.
Alright. Does anyone else have 16 or over?
Yeah.
So while you're having this conversation, you would notice a Shatterkai elf woman across the street kind of eyeing the group. paying more attention to you than some of the other people. You would probably notice her more because she is actually armed and has some armor on. But she doesn't look like a guard. In any case, does anyone else need anything from the supply depot?
I'm trying to make
Trying to-
sure that she doesn't realize we've seen her, if I can. I don't know how best to
Give
do
me
that, but
a... what skill would you use for that? Deception, maybe?
yeah, probably deception.
Alright, yeah, sure. Give me a deception check. Alright, so when she notices you look back at her, she kind of disappears into a nearby alleyway.
Guys, Ripple, can you send Sprig after her? We need to know what our interest in us is. Remember, I mean, the shadows of the night may be aware of our presence here.
I don't know if Ripple even
Okay.
noticed her.
Oh, I'm assuming they can tell me that she's there.
Yeah, I would
So
point. Yeah,
you point over to where she just was before before you noticed her. Okay.
Yeah, we will go after her. I will
I'll,
cast mislead, and Spread will turn invisible.
I'll describe what she looked like.
All right. So you cast a spell. Can you target Sprig? I thought it's range self.
No, yeah,
Or
no,
wait.
I'm casting mislead on myself, and then Sprig is just turning invisible. So both of us will be invisible, and there'll be a fake Ripple there.
Oh, okay. So Ripple's just standing there. And you and Sprig are going towards where he pointed?
Yeah.
Okay. So does anyone else want anything from the supply depot?
While all that's going on,
Yeah.
Riven's oblivious, and Riven's going to telepathically ask the Shadowkai elf, like, do you know
Oh, God.
where can I
He
go
looks
to get
around.
some... Yeah, no, down here, the kid Shadowkai, thank you. Do you know where I can go to get, like, stubbed leather, like armor?
He looks at you very concerned. He says, are you talking to me in my head, child?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Can you just answer the question?
Do you say that out loud or?
No, still telepathically. Everything Riven's doing at this point is telepathic. Just
So he's looking around a bit and he says, yeah, we do have some armor here. Could I see your papers?
yeah. And then he will mage hand the papers because no touchy.
He reads them. He says, all right, yeah, approved for armaments. So what type of armor are you looking for?
Stubbed leather. It needs to be light so I can.
Studded leather?
Yeah.
Give me one moment. I don't know if this gives me what I'm gonna need, but I'll try. No, it doesn't. Let me try one more thing. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Studded leather. He says, yeah, we can get you that. I'm assuming you're going to need a much smaller size.
No, it should be fine. It's magic. It'll shrink to fit me. It's fine.
He says, well, we don't actually have magical armor. We just have regular studded armor, if that is all right.
That's not like plus anything, is it?
No, it's just normal. Studded leather armor doesn't necessarily shrink to fit you. It would have to be magical.
It'd have to be like +1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they haven't got that. All right, I'll ask. Do you know where I can get magical? Basically, where can I get studded Studded armor plus studded leather plus 1.
Oh, is that
Not
what
even
you asked for? A
hesitating.
stud leather plus
Yeah.
1?
Kind of. I was just asking, but I don't know how to ask for like studded leather plus 1 because I don't think they'd get that.
He says, well, magical armor could be offered at the church, but if you want, I could see if we have a smaller set of armor.
If it's not magical, no, don't worry about it.
He nods. He says, well, anything else?
So go to the church for the magical one. Thank you.
I just
Yes,
want to
yes.
try the local food.
Yeah, so he gives you a packet of food. He says, do you tell him that you're looking to try the local food, or you just ask for food?
I'm gonna tell him that I want to try it.
He says, well, I can give you some standard traveling food, but if you're just looking to get something to eat, there are restaurants around. You could go to one of those and get your daily food there.
I mean, what does she give the normal citizens?
He says, "Well, the if you're if you want basic food, I can give you some breads and cheeses and just something to sustain you. But you could also, if you're looking to, try something a little bit more specialized to the region, you could eat at one of the inns. You could eat at one of the restaurants around the city. I mean, there are a couple of different places that offer different types of food. But I can give you basic rations or just traveling food here. Something you could store at home." He says, "I'm not sure what your living conditions are, but yeah."
I want to try the basic stuff.
All right, so yeah, he gives you a packet of some food like breads and cheeses and some meats as well. He says these should keep for a few days.
Thank you.
Riven will ask about the best restaurant. Where's like the
Right.
best restaurant like in the city to go to? Like the one that everybody likes.
He says, "Oh, well, there are a couple of really good ones, but actually, while this is happening, Ripple,
Yeah.
you fly across the street invisibly with your companion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you go into the nearby alleyway that was pointed out. Looking around, you do see a couple of shadow elves a little ways down the alley talking to each other, but you don't see anything too suspicious.
Okay. Can Sprig take a look around and see if he sees this armor person that was described to him?
Sure. What's Sprig's passive perception?
13.
Alright, so Sprig's flying around, looking around the alley, but you don't see anyone in armor, just these two Shatterkai speaking to each other, who, yeah, just look like normal citizens to you, or at least have normal clothing on.
Okay. Carl will just hear from the duplicate Sprig. I think I've lost them.
Oh, right. Well, hi. Well, if we're going to keep an eye out for this lady because somebody's taking interest to us, and that may be the Midnight Fire or the Children of the Night, both of them that we can certainly get in touch with and find out more about.
Alright, so you find out some good restaurants to eat at. Is there anything else the group wants to do here? I assume Sprig and Ripple rejoin the group.
Yeah, I'd like to go to the church.
Okay, so you're all heading back to the church.
I don't think that we're going to get anything useful from the people here. We are probably going to need to go to the other markets to get anything we actually need.
So as
Yeah.
you're traveling,
Riven's acting like an actual kid. Like Riven's like skipping along like an actual kid, just to sell this whole "I'm a kid" thing.
as you're traveling through the crowd, a familiar-looking woman steps out, and says, "Greetings, friends." You recognize her as the one who is watching you. She says, "Perhaps I could speak with you a moment?"
Riven hasn't seen this woman before, and he's just going, "Evil lady, evil lady."
No,
Well,
At this point,
no, child, I'm not evil. I am Amira. And she bows to you. She says, I just had some business that you might all be interested in.
Amira, okay. What is your business?
Wrong.
She says, well, obviously you all are not from around here. She says, I don't often see travelers from other worlds within the city. I was just curious to know more about why you're here and if maybe I could be of help to you.
at this point,
What kind of help would you want to offer?
She says, well,
We can talk on the way. You can accompany us. We are going to the Church of the Raven Queen to get some equipment over there. You can walk with us with pleasure.
She nods. She says, I can walk with you part of the way, though I probably won't go to the church with you.
Oh.
She says, but basically, I saw you entering town, and noticed that, well, it seemed like you weren't from this place. You also seem to have some pretty impressive enchantments on you. So I was curious if you are people from another world, maybe myself or my organization could help you. Perhaps we could be of benefit to each other.
Which organization are we talking about?
So as you're about to travel across the rock to the temple, she says, perhaps we can speak more after you visit the church. She says, I don't really want to get close to the temple if I can help it.
Well, I'm looking at the others. Maybe we can discuss before we visit the church then. If there is a...
She says, oh, yes, if you're willing to put your visit to the temple on hold, I could tell you a bit more. She says, I offer access to more resources than you might get normally within the city. She says, this isn't an offer I would make to anyone. But as I said, you seem like you are special and unique. So perhaps we could help each other. Could we go someplace a little bit more private to speak?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of trees over there. Are they like public land or what?
It looks like there might be a park area over there. You see a couple of Shatterkai walking around, but not too many. She nods. She says, we can go into the wooded area.
All right.
Is Shara with you right now?
I was gonna say I hope we've still got our guide, and I wanted to look to the guide for just a quizzical look of is this black market person legit, or are they gonna try and stab us?
So Shara would look to Amira and say something to her in Elven. Does anyone speak Elven?
Cool. Sprig.
I do. I speak Elvish.
Alright, so Shara, I'll just translate then. Shara says in Elven, is this about the shadow market? Lowers her voice a little as you walk into the woods. Amira would say, so you are familiar. And she says, yes, I am not from the city, and I have done some trading with your people, if that's what you're speaking of. And she would nod and say, yes, I can help you gain access to the shadow market and possibly do some trading. especially if you have items of magic. It's likely there's merchants who'd be eager to do business.
The 2 ripples that are currently there, just high five.
And Shara will translate this now for the rest of you. Again, keeping her voice down.
My mummy said the shadow market is dangerous and we shouldn't go there.
And she arches an eyebrow at you. She says, I know that you two are fairies.
Well, now you just take the fun out of everything, don't you?
She says, only when it amuses me.
Would she know that he's a fairy, considering that like the number of fairies haven't changed because there are currently 2 ripples?
She seems like she knows he's a fairy.
Well, if she knows that and she's going to say that, Riven, in a fit of anger, is going to do minor illusion to change the colour of her outfit from whatever it is to bright neon colours.
What would you use to do that?
Minor illusion. Or prestidigitation, I'm not sure which. I know minor illusion. Yeah, I'll do
Minor
minor.
illusion would last a couple minutes.
So I think you could just make illusionary objects. I don't know if you could actually change her outfit color.
I'll just make an illusionary of her outfit and then just change the colours of that.
Alright, so she just, again, kind of arches her eyebrow at you and says, would the market interest you, or am I wasting my time?
Yeah,
It could do, but it kind of depends what we can get for free from the temple. Free beach
says,
trade.
As visitors, I doubt they'd give you much, though, again, I'm not very knowledgeable of the temple. My people try to avoid the law in the city. She says, well, you can speak with the temple, though, and see what
No, I'm interested to see that shadow. I mean, if my friends don't want to come, I'll come with you.
It seems
No,
like
I'll-
the only place. It seems like
I'll
the only
go,
place
I
we're
just-
gonna get anything.
Don't see why pay for things when we could potentially get it for free.
Because the temple isn't going to give us anything because they're absolutely useless.
Probably, but until you ask, you don't know.
She says, no, your friend is correct. The government is not going to, at least the things you're looking for. If you're looking for magical things, they're no more common here than they would be in your worlds. It's unlikely
really
the temple
common
is
it
just
is.
going to give you things that are that valuable.
You clearly don't know how common magical stuff is in where I'm from.
This is fair. Perhaps where you come from, you could easily get any of the magical things you are looking for.
Oh, trust me, where I come from, a tree's magical. And that's just normal.
She says, well, where are you staying currently?
We don't
Did we
need
get
to
the
tell
name?
you where we're
So-
staying. We just need to go to the market. Don't.
She says, well, I'm not going to bring you there right now. I need to go and check on a few things first. But I was just talking to you to gauge your interests.
Yeah, we are interested. I mean, there's clearly the different markets and probably offering different things. So take us there for sure. I mean,
She says, well,
I'm
it's not as simple as just taking you there. I will need to okay it with my superiors first. That's why I
Why
wanted
does
to...
everyone have a boss?
Why is everyone a boss? I don't know. Like I said, where are you staying? I can come meet you at your inn, and then probably tonight I can take you.
okay.
It'll give you time to speak with your temple people. It would be in your best interest not to mention us or the shadow market.
Okay.
And if I think that you are working for them as some sort of spy, you will not see me again.
The Temple of the Raven Queen has hired 2 fairy spies.
Damn it, they've found us out.
She says, I wouldn't put it past them. They've tried to infiltrate our organizations before.
With fairies?
No, I will say they haven't used fairies before, but, I mean, there's a first time for anything.
Cool, yeah, okay. We're at the place with the beds and stuff. It's over there.
So you tell her where your inn is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in any way that makes sense.
All
The
right.
doors.
She figures it out after a while. She says, I think I know where you're talking about. I'll stop by there in the evening and check on you, and most likely I'll bring you to the market then.
Okay. Just know that we are going back to the temple just to investigate the price of stuff that we want over there, not become spies for them.
She says, I figured when you first came into town, I saw you were taken to the temple. It's fairly standard for someone outside of... Well, it's fairly standard for someone who is probably from another world to be taken there. And judging by how you looked, I assumed you were from Gaian or maybe the Feywild, she says, looking at Ripple.
I shake my head and go, fireplane.
Well, fireplane then. So I don't think you're spies necessarily, but I wouldn't put it past the temple to try to send people from another world to infiltrate us.
So technically, Ripple, you are from the Feywild, you just moved.
Well, they don't need to know that. Because we're here, and if we tell them who we are, then they might try and kill us.
Yeah, we've not told them who we are. We've just told them where we're from, which I'm not going to break it to you, but the wings are a massive giveaway.
She nods. She says they are.
I'm
Also,
literally on fire.
Yeah, but you still have wings.
I use my elemental gift to just, like, make the flames that are on me just bigger.
You always do this. Whenever you're losing an argument, you always resort to making yourself on fire.
While the two of you are arguing, she slips off into the trees.
Actually, how likely is he to set a fire in this forest?
I'll head to the temple, leaving the two furry behind. Using still picture.
We follow
Wait,
along.
I want to get to the...
Alright, so
We follow along, but you guys probably just hear a shit ton of Sylvan going backwards and forwards for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
They don't hear shit from me because I'm saying it telepathically.
Alright, so you go to the temple. Some of the guards there would stop you and ask you what your business is here. Did you come to worship, or are you looking for someone?
I'm looking to buy some spell components. We've been told that this is the best place to buy those.
He says, you probably wish to speak to one of the priests then. He takes a look at your papers. He says, give me a list of the things you need. I'll go bring it to the priests.
Right.
So you name the things. You name the studded leather armor?
Yes, the magically enchanted studded leather armor.
He writes that down.
A platinum ring for the warding bond, and focus, a 100 gold piece focus for clairvoyance.
Okay, so he takes... go ahead.
I will add a metal tuning fork to that.
Okay, so yeah, he takes the lists with him. You're waiting there for a little while. We'll say it's about 250 at this point. It's been about an hour since you left here. Well, no, you traveled a little bit. We'll say it's like 3:30. The guard would come back and say the items that you wish are a bit valuable to just give to new guests to the city. You'll have to do some more work for the city before we could provide things like this.
You mean destroying the children? You mean destroying the children of the shadow for you isn't good enough?
He says, "Well, I just know what I was told based on the notes we have on you as guests to the city. It's not my decision to make." He says, "This is coming from the priests."
Can
Go
we
get me a priest.
barter? Can we barter for it?
And he says, you would probably have to speak with your what would that be called? Your
Handler.
yeah, you wouldn't use the word handler. The guy, I mean, basically, you'd have to speak to Ruvain. He says you'd have to speak
Oh, okay.
to the guard captain who you're working with. He could probably set up some sort of deal with the priests, but it's not something that is usually done. So I would say, yeah, talk to him about that. I
I hate this
believe
bloody city.
he says I believe he's still speaking with the priests. Apparently, there's a bit of a uproar as something is going on.
Yes, it's the reason we're here.
He says, "Oh, well, hopefully he can help you. My apologies."
I hate this bloody city.
Is he wearing
Everyone
like
walks out.
suit?
The bureaucracy.
I hate.
You have to sign
The-
Form 5A to get a 3-week waiting period.
That's why the fairies hate the Shadowfell, not because it's fucking necrotic, it's because it's all bureaucracy.
Yeah.
It's
It's
all
like-
paperwork.
If I just burn down the temple, can I get what I want? No.
They have more guns.
All right. So what do you want to do?
Are the laces on his boots? Like, does he have boots that are laced up?
Yeah, he's probably got some really dark leather boots. They look kind of cool. They're laced up.
Okay. An invisible mage hand that requires no components to cast for me because of telekinetic starts tying his shoelaces together.
All right. Give me a. I don't know if that would be sleight of hand. I don't even know what that would be.
Probably
Yeah.
sleight of hand or maybe spellcasting ability modifier.
Yeah, maybe sleight of hand with spellcasting ability modifier instead of
And I throw a
dexterity.
tantrum to distract the guard so he doesn't notice.
Sure, Riven's throwing a tantrum and he's like, calm down, sir.
There you are. I'm distracting him for you.
Go ahead, you can make a check.
2 seconds. Stuff is.
I'm doing a Karen. I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah, that'll just be 14.
All right, so he's he's trying to calm Riven down, who's making a bit of a scene as you tie his bootlaces together very carefully. He does not seem to notice.
Mage hand then just tugs on Riven to start walking away.
All right, maybe
Fine.
as the group is leaving, the elf trips. Like, what the? Oh, falls over. So where are you headed now?
Well, back to the tavern at that point. To the inn.
Well, do we want to go back to the inn, or do we want to go and try one of the restaurants one of the Shadakai bloke told me about? Do you want to try the food?
Shara says, "Did anyone else see that guard just fall over? That was weird."
I just burst out laughing and then used the wand of scours on myself.
She looks very confused.
Don't mind him. He was dropped on his head as a child. He does this a lot.
Oh, well. Yeah, there's some good places to eat if you wish. We have our elf friend said, or our friend said she would be in around evening time, which is in a couple of hours.
So let's go eat.
All right.
So-
You've been here before, Shara. Where's? Oh, sorry, Karim.
So if there is an uproar to the church, so when we kind of come out of the church, if there's any kind of sign of people going in a particular direction, or kind of any activity sign outside that shows like groups of Shadowkai heading hurriedly somewhere or something like that.
Not in the streets themselves, but you did notice at the temple there seemed like there was a bit of an uproar inside, like a bunch of the priests and some of the patrons were talking to each other, and people were kind of hurrying along. So there might be some kind of um, something going on there.
Okay, but not it is not visible outside.
No, not in the streets themselves. Things seem pretty
Alright,
normal.
alright.
So
Oh,
I'll just, well, does anyone else want to do or say anything? Alright, well, I can skip some time ahead. You can go someplace to eat for dinner. You might get, if people from the city approach you asking you about who you are, do you want to talk to them about who you are? Or you want to kind of blow them off? Like, how would you handle that? Because people are probably, or some of the Shatterkai are probably going to try to talk to you.
Um,
Go on.
Ripple's response to anyone asking him who he is or why he's there, he's just going to tell them that he doesn't have the authority to answer the question and tell him he'll have to go ask his superior.
Yeah, no, they would, that would actually make sense to them, so they might seem a little bit nervous and just, like, hurriedly walk away if you say that to them.
Riven will.
And then that doesn't
Anyone
cause
who.
it-
Well,
Go on.
Riven as a young Shatterkai, or as a young-looking child, you probably wouldn't be approached by anyone. They would just.
Riven's just going to run round people just like that annoying kid at a restaurant and just go. Meow.
All right. What about Tal or Calgrod?
I don't know. It would probably just be friendly, but trying to end the conversation quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So just kind of like maybe a little standoffish but polite.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a very tasty dinner actually. Then heading back to the tavern, you would find Amira there waiting at the bar for you. She would see you and smile, getting up and motioning for you to follow her.
Alright.
Do we
She
just
she
do we
would
just want to
go ahead.
just kind of like not do this overtly and just slip through the shadows and follow her quietly, not visible?
Well, she would bring you out to the lobby and whisper, "Can we speak in one of your rooms?"
Yep.
So going upstairs, we'll say maybe Calgrod. Would you use your room?
Yeah, yeah.
I think we'd use Ripple's room.
Ripple. All right.
No. We would use my room because DJ has been there all the time. So
You have Deja
if
there.
anything
Ripple.
happened,
Oh,
if anything happened there, I can kind of figure that out right away.
So is Deja trying to hide?
No, she's not hiding.
Right.
And I'm going to do a speak with animals when I get it and kind of get talk to her to make sure everything was left alone and we had no visitors and nothing like that happened.
So Amira would immediately be a little freaked out as a huge spider plops down off the ceiling and you start talking to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then she would just kind of nod. But Deja would say, "No, your room has not been disturbed. No one's come in
Right.
here."
So we are good. We can talk.
Amira keeps looking at the spider as she walks in. She says, that's a neat trick."
Yeah, she's a good companion. Not as discreet as my friend's companion here, but she has her use.
So she nods as she closes the door and says, "I've been told I can bring you to the Shadow Market. I just need some assurances first that you are not working with the government and that you will not tell anyone about your journey to the Shadow Market."
I'm not signing another contract.
Says, "No, it's more of a verbal agreement."
We won't. Well, I won't. Speaking for myself.
And she just looks to each of you to agree to that.
I promise
Shadow...
to. Come on.
Well, you go. It's fine.
I promise that any of my knowledge of the shadow market will not pass my lips.
All right. She says, all right, that'll work.
I'm not pointing out that can speak telepathically to
Yeah,
anybody.
no, I'm very aware of what I've said.
What about
Yeah,
you, Tal?
she probably
Yeah.
sees us smirking when Raven says that.
I will not talk to it with the authorities of the city.
And she nods. Give me a deception, Riven,
Why?
Okay.
since he's being sneaky and everyone's giggling. So she looks up at you and she says, I would prefer if you just agree to not tell anyone.
I agree to do. I agreed that I would not. That the knowledge. I agreed that the knowledge of the shadow market would not pass my lips to anyone.
She says, we don't need the past the lips part. She says, just say it in the way I said it.
I will not speak of my knowledge of the shadow market.
So you will not tell anyone of the shadow market.
For God's sake, we're going to go round and round in circles here. I will not speak of my knowledge of the shadow market.
She gives you a very, very, kind of, I don't want to say annoyed, but a very suspicious glance.
Right. It's a fairy thing. We don't want to use one word when we can use 10.
Says, all right, well, regardless, if you tell anyone, we will not take that kindly, however you might tell them.
Like I said, it will not pass my lips.
All right, so, and Calgrad, you said you agreed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she says, all right, well, gather your things that you'd be willing to trade and follow me. We have an
All right.
appointment. So it's probably about 6 o'clock at this point.
I will probably cast invisibility on everyone. Can I do it on everyone? I think I can.
I don't know. It's I think it's one extra person per level over a second, right?
Yeah, and I can cast fifth. So
So you can
yes,
do
I can
4
cast it on
people.
everyone.
Well, you can't do Shara, I guess.
Miss Shara coming?
She says, "Yeah, I can, unless you don't want me to." I figured I'd stop in as well.
Okay.
He goes normally, so it won't look weird.
Yeah, just be sneaky.
She says, "Oh, are we trying?" She whispers, "Are we trying to? I mean, aren't we just being let in there? How would I be sneaky?"
Well, I don't trust the people here, so I probably would guess that there's someone from the temple watching our moves, so we probably don't want to appear to have left this hotel for the night.
Oh, maybe I should just stay here then. That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
I'll just stay here. I
well,
didn't
you
need
can
anything
leave.
that badly anyway. But yeah, you're right. They probably they might be watching you all. And Amira would nod. She says, "That's actually a good point. The invisibility could be a good idea."
I'll
Yeah,
leave.
but you're from here, so they probably won't be watching you. If they think we're in this room and then both of you leave, then it shouldn't be an issue. I'll use my Rod of the Pack Keeper to regain a spell slot.
All right, were you gonna say something, Calgrad?
DJ is staying in the room, so you don't need invisibility for her.
Okay.
Okay.
So you cast invisibility, the 4 of you disappearing, and Amira will just say, "Follow me. It's not too far from here."
Okie dokie.
So she kind of discreetly leaves the inn and heads down the street to what looks like an abandoned house. She slips into the alleyway, which I assume you all follow her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye out, she moves around the back to a door, knocking on it in a distinct pattern.
Can I learn that pattern?
Yeah, give me a, I don't know, intelligence, I guess?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too complicated, but a Shatterkai answers the door. He says, well, it seems like he recognizes her, and he nods, motioning for her to come on through. And she says to him in Elven, I have some friends following me. He looks around. He says, and she says, they're invisible. He says, oh, yeah, that's fine. So you all walk in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you enter, you all turn visible. The Shatterkai closes the door behind you, and he motions for you all to follow him.
Sprig tries to turn invisible again.
You are unable to turn invisible here. If Sprig tried to cast the spell, no magic seems to, or the magic doesn't seem to function.
I cast Mage Hand.
Same thing, nothing would happen. And the elf would say, spells don't work here. The magic is repressed.
As far as they're concerned, probably nothing happened.
Well, I think you saw someone trying to gesture. Or were you all trying
Ripple.
to, or go ahead.
Sprig's is just an innate ability. He can just turn invisible, and me casting Mage Hand requires no components.
Alright, so then he wouldn't take notice. He would just walk through another door and motion for you all to follow him.
And Riven's gonna try telepathically linking to Ripple and just say hello.
Nothing would happen.
Damn it! Even
At this point, like, Ripple is gonna just take the vessel off of Sprig and have his genie vessel on him, and
I just realised that means Riven's disguise self drops entirely. So
Yeah, so you
it's
would look
his
like
real
a fairy
self.
again. Yeah.
It's his true self that none of you have seen.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
so what would you look like then? This is
Let me go back.
embarrassing.
I've got a list of the images. Let me get to the one that it is.
This is awkward.
You have no idea. Yeah, so Riven, literally, everything's revealed. So his physicality is still the same, just what he's wearing. It's very a dark velveteen, almost like navy blue jacket over the thing, and it's got a lot of embroidery and a lot of goldenish unicorns on, and yeah, his hair. Yeah,
So-
he doesn't like it at all. He's very.
He looks
I want
much
to go out
more
now.
ostentatious, basically.
Riven's
Yeah.
basically frozen, just I don't want to be in here now. I want to go out. I want to be outside.
The Shatterkai would look back. He says, "Are you coming or?"
So,
No, get me out of here.
so is he looking like Zoolander or something like that?
No, not like Zula. It's,
No.
it's a very regal, very fancy, very posh outfit,
Okay.
but it's
It's
a
not-
bit extravagant thing. So it's not a toned down. It's very. It's on a scale of 1 to 10. It's about a 7 on regal / colorful.
Okay.
But he's very much just he doesn't like it because he can't do magic. He's no, I'm getting out of here. Get me out of here.
With unicorns. Okay.
Is
Yes.
something the matter? The guy says.
Yep, I can't do magic, and I do not like this. Get me out of here now.
He says, it's just a small area. Once we,
Nope, I don't care. Get me out of here now.
well, then come through the door. The area in here will allow magic use again.
He's gonna go straight out that door.
Okay, so
No, he's gonna barge everybody out the way and just fucking fly out.
so he, the guy's walking down to the basement, and Riven goes flying past, getting back into magic area.
And his disguised self goes straight back up, and he's not happy at all.
So the Shatter Kai leads you to the basement, where he picks up a strange-looking gnarled staff and walks over to what appears to be a circle of runic carvings on the ground. And he motions for y'all to come over.
Runic circles on the ground, teleport circle or something along those lines.
Yeah, anyone with Arcana would know this is a teleportation circle.
Don't have Arcana, but I can teleport to teleportation circles. So.
If you have the spell, you can use it to. You could copy this down and teleport to this circle whenever.
Yeah, I want to copy the circle down, but I don't have the spell. I have plane shift, which does allow me to use teleportation circles, but isn't teleportation circle.
So the Shatterkai wizard would say the circle here is not a true teleportation circle. It's just used to link, it's just used to link us to the shadow market. It wouldn't do you any good to copy this down. But I guess if you really want to, you just look at him for a second, then keep doing your scribbles. He sighs, giving you a moment, and he says, "All right, just step into the circle, and I'll bring us to where we need to go."
Yep.
All right. So you all step in. There is a whoosh of energy as the familiar feeling of teleportation occurs, and you are suddenly inside of a cage with several figures. Go ahead.
I was going to say I wanted to take the longsword off Sprig before we went through the circle, but...
Which longsword?
Sprig's got a longsword.
Oh, yeah, sure, if you want to grab it, that's fine. So yeah, you are inside a metal cage with several figures sitting on the outside. The Shatter Kai with the staff sort of waves, and one of the guys nods. He does some chanting. Looks like he casts a spell. His eyes glow, and then he nods and opens the cage door and motions for you all to walk out.
That was odd. What was that?
Emira whispers, they were just using some detection magics to make sure we were who we are supposed to be.
Ah, okay.
So she leads you down a corridor into what appears to be a large, not necessarily cavernous, it almost appears like a combination of caves and kind of dugout areas with a bunch of support pillars and several groups of individuals with various market stalls selling things. She says, if you give me a list of things you're looking for, I can go into the market and try to find some of them and get you set up with your connections. I assume you don't have any pale coin.
We do, actually.
She seems a bit surprised. She says, "Oh, well, I wouldn't ask where you got it, but how much do you have?"
Well, what's the worth of a belt in kind of... I know you guys are not talking in gold piece worth, but is that like a worth like a platinum piece? Is that worth like a silver piece normally, or...?
She says, well, I'm not sure the values of the currency you use in your world, but and she talks to you a bit about the things you could buy with a pale coin. Give me an insight check.
Okay.
And all of you can. Again, she's speaking in common, so you all hear this. So it sounds like a pale coin is equivalent to basically like a platinum piece where you would come from.
Oh, okay, cool.
In terms of value.
All right.
You don't think she's lying either. She seems like she's being honest.
So I'm adding more stuff to my list, and I realize that.
But yeah, she says, how many pale coins do you have? Usually, pale coins aren't used to trade for magical items, but they can be used to procure other services.
Okay. But like spell components, is that okay to trade with spell coins?
She's like, yes, most likely.
There's
She
probably
she would say, would you be willing to tell me where you found these pale coins?
Well, let's say that we had to fight against some people that were. I mean, they wanted to take stuff from us, and we had to defend ourselves. So the pell coins are what were in their pockets. We
I
don't really
see.
know. We don't really know where they were from or who they were, but we found them. We were kind of. Yeah, that was these coins were odd enough for us to kind of gather.
Was this within the Shadowfell or within the
No, no,
world you come
no,
from?
not here, not here. Where we come from.
Interesting. You may you may then already have enemies at the market because only people who use the market trade in pale coin. So I'd be cautious.
Okay, we
But
will
go ahead.
keep an eye. We will keep an eye open. I mean, it's not really that we antagonize them. It's more than they took stuff from us, and we had to react.
Understandable, but that doesn't mean that whatever organization they worked for will, look kindly upon that. I mean, I am not. I'm not judging you for defending yourselves. It's just
All
that
right.
it might put you at odds with someone here. You may have an unknown enemy.
Can they recognize the Pelcoin's origin?
Not likely, but if anyone
Okay.
survived their encounter with you, someone here might recognize you.
Okay. Fair enough.
So let me. What is it that you all are looking for? I can ask around a bit.
what are the sort of things that we'd find here? Like, will they
Well,
have magic items? Will they just have components?
she
Is there a
says
limit and stuff?
the shadow market has all sorts of curious items. We get traders from all over the empire visiting this place. We're not actually nearby New Havisgard anymore. We've gone quite a ways from there. So there are several groups of traders who come here to trade their wares that don't want to go through the Empire's way of doing business. So you can find most things here. You just have to know where to look.
There's a few magic things that I'd be looking for then.
Yep. So I'm giving her the list. I just put it in the chat window.
All right.
What I'm looking for.
Give me a
So she nods. She says, I think I know someone who could help you with those. Those aren't even magical. Those would just be something a jewel crafter could do.
In terms of components, I just need plane shift focus, the tuning forks. But there would be a few magic items that I'd be interested in getting as well.
So she takes you to a jewel crafter who, let's see, is willing to get you those things, the horn, the eye, and the platinum ring for 300 gold pieces.
Okay. 300 gold pieces.
So that would be, what, 30 platinum or 30 pale coin?
Yeah, so I offer 19 pale coins and 2 bloodstone worth 50 gold piece each.
All right.
So I kind of No, okay. If they're asking 300, I
So-
will go with three bloodstone worth 50 gold piece each and 19 gold bell coin.
All right, so the Shatter Kai examines the bloodstones. He nods. So that would be what, 340 value?
Yeah, 40 gold piece each. Yes.
Or wait, yeah, it would be 340, 150 plus 190. All right, he nods. He's okay with doing
Oh,
that trade.
sorry. My intent was to do 290 to kind of negotiate to 290. I made
Oh,
my math wrong. Yeah.
so
If he's
the
asking
two
300, I'm offering 290.
so the two bloodstones.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a, I guess, persuasion check if you're bartering.
Yeah.
And one person can help you if they want.
I would help.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a persuasion. You have to beat a
Ooh.
3. Well,
12.
you both rolled a 2. All right.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Uh,
you want 4.
so the guy is not really going for it. He would want the
Alright,
extra pale
so
coin.
I'll add one platinum piece from the old empire, or no, two platinum piece of the old empire.
Give me another persuasion check. The two of
Alright.
you, as you
That's
barter.
more. That costs more than what he was asking for. 18.
Yeah, but they don't really pay attention
Yeah, he
to
isn't
the.
trading it. So yeah, you make some like, oh, but this this is actually worth. And he's a little bit hesitant at first, but he finally agrees because he's
Alright.
close to making the sale. So he'll take the 3 bloodstones and the all the pale coin and the 2 plat and give you
two-
those things.
Two bloodstones.
Oh yeah, sorry, 2 bloodstones. Yeah. All right, so
Alright.
you get your little pouch with the platinum ring and those other 2.
Awesome.
Anything else from the jeweler?
Probably not from a jeweler.
So the studded leather, Amira says, magical items could be a little more difficult to get a hold of. You might need to spend some time here talking with people. It's not something that is usually found right away. But if you're interested, I could try to find you some lodgings if you want to stay here for a while. If you're done, I can take you back to New Havisgard.
We need a tuning fork.
What's the value of that?
Like 250.
Okay, so she says, let me see what I can find. Although, it would be nice if you all could compensate me a bit for this time. And she kind of eyes your 3rd bloodstone.
Shana? Is that? Oh no, it's a lady we met.
Emira, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Are you sure you're authorized to take payment for this for such a thing?
Authorized by who? What are you talking about?
Your employer.
He says, well, there's no authorization. I just feel I should be given some compensation for the time I'm putting into helping you all find these goods.
Yeah, well, when you find me my magical items, then you can get compensated.
Give me a persuasion check. She sort of looks to Calgrod and Tal.
She's.
Can you find me someone who is willing to buy spell scrolls? Then I might be able to.
She says, I can certainly help. Like I said, I've already given you quite a bit of help for free just getting you in here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some money we can actually use, and then we might be able to compensate you.
Give me a persuasion at advantage.
Ouch.
She says, I would be happy to help you if you, like I said, gave me any sort of compensation.
All
And
right.
then we could
I'm done.
continue our...
I'm done fucking. Riven was in a bad mood to begin with. Now she's pissing him off. Right. Riven's gonna cast Friends on her.
Oh,
Alright.
I want to counterspell that.
Okay. You're going to
Do I
counterspell
want
it?
to?
I don't think you can because he's not doing... I assume he's doing it with his psychic stuff.
Let me check which one I've got because I know I swapped it out, but I can't remember which one was my sonic.
Oh, are you
Okay,
actually
that's my thing.
casting?
Yeah, no, because it's encode. Encode thoughts is the one I had to swap Mind Sliver out for. So yeah, I actually have to cast that one.
Alright.
I'm not going to use a spell slot to fucking. I'm not going to use a 5th level fucking spell slot to fucking prevent a cantrip.
Alright, so you chant...
But I will try and do it as subtly as I can, like as just like so she, yeah, the best way I can.
Alright, so what are you going to ask her after casting the spell?
I'm basically just gonna say, after doing it, I'm just gonna be like, look, I know you've helped us for free, and I think that's great and all, but how about you help us like find a way to get some money so that we can actually pay you to actually like make this worth your time as well.
Give me another persuasion check.
Advantage. Thank God for that spell.
Yeah, for 60 seconds, mate. Like,
Uh,
we've got 60 seconds.
so what was it you were asking her to help you find?
But basically, I was asking her to help us find a place where we can quickly make some money to give her.
Yeah, I can sell some spell scrolls or potions.
What spell scrolls do you have, Tal?
She says, I have some friends within the market that might be able to help. I'll just need some time to go and ask questions about who needs what.
Cool. Bye then.
And she would nod and just kind of walk off.
Oh, thank God she was really annoying me.
Oh, she's gonna probably slap you in about 30 more seconds.
She can try. I'll Eldritch Blast her.
So what are you all gonna do? You're kind of standing in the middle of the cave now.
So the cave seems to have like places to like grottos on the side, or there's
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
there's basically like carts in the cave. There's sort of side passages all over the place. It looks like people are eating, walking around. There's music playing. There's a whole bunch of different places to go. Almost like a street fair type thing, but underground.
Okay. Well, we really need like a plane shift focus for
yeah.
the
So we
Shadow
need.
Fell, so we want to go. I want to go looking for that.
All right, so just kind of generally looking around the marketplace.
So I'm going to contribute my bloodstone for buying that piece because we all need it, so we should all contribute. Shouldn't be only one of us buying this stuff. Yeah. So here you go. Bloodstone, 50 gold piece worth. You can add that to your equipment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So if you're looking around, give me a, I guess persuasion would be a good one. Unless there's a different skill you think you'd use.
No, he'd definitely use persuasion if he could, because he's good at that. But not today.
I'll take up to
No,
2
we're
checks
both
from the
shit at it.
group.
Help.
So the fairies are working together. Yeah, so you do some work talking to a bunch of people, and you are clued in to a guy selling some magical components at a stand. He does indeed have a tuning fork.
No.
The Shadow Fell?
Yes, this is for, he only has a Shadowfell one.
Okay. So I'm assuming you want like 200 gold for it.
So if you ask him for a price, let's see. He will ask for 350. 300. Well, he would ask for what would that be? 35 pale coin.
That is absurd.
Says, well, if you don't want it, you don't have to have it, and he puts it away.
Oh, give me a second. Let me see what I've got and I can do to him.
I can do 210.
Give me a persuasion check to haggle.
Guidance.
Alright, so you cast the spell, touching your buddy on the back, so 16 plus d4. Wait,
Oh, I'm not using that.
you said 210?
Yeah.
He just shakes his head. He says, the most I'd go down is to 300. This is not something I need to sell.
Yeah, the prices are highly unreasonable. 230. Like, I'm basically nickel and fucking diamond with this guy. So.
He seems stuck on 300. He doesn't seem to want to come down.
Second. Rivet's just going to say to Ripple heads telepathically. Should I just modify his memory to make him think we've paid already?
Yeah, we don't have the coins right now anyway. So
No, I was gonna
so
say,
he
tell him
do you say or hang on, Tal, you said that out loud, we don't have the coins anyway?
say let's come back when we have some more money.
He says I'll also take trades if you have anything of value I could trade for it.
I'll do 300, but I'll do 300 if you take these gold pieces.
He says, we don't trade in gold in the shadow market here. This isn't Gaian.
Yeah, but you can trade it for people for jewelry and stuff.
He says, when am I going to be in Gaian? Just because I have a tuning fork doesn't mean I planeswalk. He says, do you think I have security outside the market to sell my wares? It'd probably just be stolen. I don't go to other worlds.
Do you want to sell in Gaian?
He says, not particularly. I have everything I need in the shadow market.
You could branch out, open a store in Gaian. You could have a little fairy buddy that takes you back and forth when you need to come and go.
Give me a persuasion check.
15.
Is there a market for spell components more in Gaian? I thought the magics were more restrictive over there.
I look at the market we're in and go, you care about laws?
He says, if I don't have protections, yes, I do.
Where your protection?
He says, look, I don't want your gold. Do you have pale coins or gems or something of that nature?
I look at Riven and nod.
Right, cool. Using my psionic sorcery, I'm going to cast a Modify Memory on him.
Alright, go ahead and link it. Alright. So he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
It is a charm, so he would have advantage on this. Because he is an elf. And elves have advantage on charms. What's the DC?
It is incredible. My spell thing, so that's 19.
Alright. So he looks odd for a moment, and he kind of twitches. So it looks like he was affected by it.
Cool. His memory is that we've paid him the money, and he's giving us the tuning fork.
Just hold my hand out expectantly.
So you're going to start talking to him, telling him that he paid or that you paid already?
Can I
Yeah.
do it telepathically, saying to him, he's already paid with the modified memory? Because of the aberrant mind thing, can I
It
telepathically
says
tell
you
him we've
must
already
speak, so I'm gonna say you have to talk.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
basically,
so Riven will get close and whisper it, like whispering it into his ear. If that works.
Like,
alright, so you all see Riven, like, walk up to this guy who's looking all muddled and just start whispering something to him. Alright. So he says, yes, here you are, and he hands you the tuning fork.
Thank you. It was really nice trading with you, and hopefully we'll come find you again. Oh, and if you find any studded leather, plus like magically enchanted studded leather or a ring of mind shielding, hold on to it for me and just send someone to come tell me, okay? Okay.
He doesn't answer, he just sits there.
Bye.
Can I inspect the tuning fork? Make sure it's legit?
It seems like a tuning fork. I don't
Is it
know. I don't think you have an ability to know if it's legit per se. You assume it is. You have to cast the spell, though, I think. Do you have Arcana?
No.
Yeah, so you probably need someone with Arcana to examine it.
How can you detect magic and... Oh no, does tuning forks don't come up as magical, do they?
Yeah, they
No,
won't.
this wouldn't be magical. So after about a minute, the guy just kind of shakes his head and is acting normal again. And he says,
Then
let
I'll
me
go back
know
up
if
and
you
mention that.
anything else.
Yeah, if you can find some enchanted studded leather, like...
Oh, what do you
very
think?
good
I
or a
just
little...
give you anything you want? What do I look like?
No.
I have magical items? No, I don't
No,
have
I'm saying
enchanted
if you
studded leather.
find any, if you stumble across it, or you know someone who has it, or a ring of mind shielding, just
Yes,
hold on
I
to it
just
for me.
stumble across magical items. Yes, that is how it
Look, I'm
works.
trying to give you more business, alright? So if you find it, just hold on to it, let me know, and I'll come and get it,
It
okay?
says, you need components, you come here. Because he has an accent now, I don't know why.
Definitely.
Alright. I look to the guys and I'm like, I can now get us directly to the fort.
Yeah,
We
well,
can
I want to
go-
see what they're going to say to us tomorrow. I'm kind of invested now.
We can go and come back and be at the fort tomorrow morning.
Well, how about we have the conversation with them in case they give us more help? And if they don't, we just do it tomorrow.
So are you guys saying we are closer to the fort than we were when we were in the city?
No, I'm telling us I can take us back to Gaian now. I can take us to the fort after I sleep.
Oh, directly through the planar gate?
Directly through plane shift.
Oh, okay. That sounds good to me.
If this thing works like it should, we can get anywhere in the Shadowfell. Just like we can technically get anywhere on Gaian.
Well, so if we do that, that may be worth trying to get next to the. I certainly would like to see Blackstone next to the Empire capital.
Blackstone? I
Yeah.
can get us to Blackstone.
What do you think? What do you guys think? I mean, that sounds like a plan actually. Because then we get straight to the fort.
Quick
Or
question, though. We appear in the fort tomorrow. How ready are we for a all-out battle royale to get your friends out?
We
Well,
don't need to specifically be at the fort. We can be just outside the fort to scout it and to prepare to attack.
we can scout it. There is this kind of tale of this night crawler or night walker thing that is around the fort. Maybe we avoid it or not, but yeah. I mean, if it's doable, I think that personally I vote for it. What do you guys think, Tal?
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, your friends, whatever you want to do.
That reminds me, like we know it's a night walker that's in there. I mean, can we look about the market a bit and see if we can find like a book with information about it, like what we're running into?
Well, the Nightwalker may not be at the fort themselves, but maybe I think they were saying the region is kind of threatened by
Nightwalker. What's his name? Orchard told me that there's a beast running around outside, so I think it's right next to the fort.
Okay. Yeah, so investigating the creature could be, yeah, absolutely. Well, let's do that before we leave then. Try to find a book on Nightwalkers or somebody with some knowledge about that.
All right, so you're looking around the market for books to buy?
Yeah, or people to talk to. We kind of maybe we put the name Nightwalker around here and see if anybody's talking back to us or something like that.
All right, so you are looking around. It's getting a little bit late. You notice Demira hasn't returned. It's about 8 p.m. now.
Also casting ability on Riven, I think, because he did such a good job negotiating that tuning fork deal for advantage on what's it, charisma.
Okay.
That's Riven or Riven, sorry.
Because he negotiated the deal. I don't know what he whispered to him, but apparently it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it was very good.
I just rotate the gem Cal gave me between my fingers.
Give me... Or go ahead.
So what are we looking for? I can start asking around.
Information about the Nightwalker.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Can I start?
So yeah, give me probably persuasion again if you're just trying to ask around the market. It's getting late, so a bunch of places are closing at this point, and there's a lot less people here. But you do still see a couple of people moving around the markets. Yeah, the areas are still... Oh, and the areas are lit up. I should have mentioned that. There are continual light stones, or you assume they're continual light stones used to light the halls and the various cave areas. But it seems like a lot of people are closing for the evening.
So not
I can roll higher than a 10 and get a 25 on asking for information.
Okay. So you're asking around. Yeah, so a couple of people here. One guy who you find who has some armor, looks like he might be a mercenary, Shatterkai, says, yeah, I know a little bit about the northern fort and the Nightwalker. Maybe if you want to drop some pale coin my way, I can tell you.
Oh, give me a minute.
I will just like... Do we just want to use the gem, Cal?
Just a suggestion.
I don't know, I'm still
Oh,
Maybe
okay,
she's
I'm
coming back and lets me sell some of my stuff, then we can drop smaller amounts, I don't know. 50 gold pieces seems like a lot.
Oh, it'd be 10 gold pieces. Per pale coin.
Yeah.
That would be...
Yeah,
At least that would be the gold piece value.
Have something that might interest you. I have like this magical scroll and I hold out a scroll of True Strike. Maybe this is interesting for you.
This is, do I look like a wizard? How am I gonna buy a beer with... Or how am I gonna buy ale or wine with a scroll?
Do you know what?
all you have to do is tell. Go on.
Carl gave me like the blood gem thing. We didn't use it. It seems reasonable to give him the gem.
You gonna pass
I
him the
guess.
gem?
Unless Carl has any objection to it. Because it was his gem.
It's up to you. It's my participation to the forked stuff, so we got the fork tune, so whatever you want to do with it.
Like also, like we're looking for hard information here, not some flimsy tale.
I could always just do suggestion. He tells us what we want, and if it's any good, you give him the blood diamond anyway.
Sure, do
Are
it.
you saying that in his mind?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay,
So
cool.
you pass over the gem. He takes a look at it. He says, hey, barkeep, how many, still buy me ales, right? And the barkeep looks, he's like, yeah, sure, I can trade that for some ale. He says, alright. So, I was,
If the information,
oh, go ahead.
if the information that you give us is useless, we will not be happy.
He shrugs, he takes a sip of his ale, and he says, well, I can tell you what I know. Hopefully it'll make you happy. The Night Walker appeared, I want to say, about 100 years ago in that region. I was helping a group go up there, and actually, unfortunately, most of them were killed by it. It's some sort of undead being that saps the life out of anything that gets close to it. I didn't fight it directly. A couple of people tried, but they were just killed. It does massive amounts of necrotic damage to anything close to it, and it seems to exude some sort of almost void-like energy.
100 years ago, you said. That would
Nods.
match with E6. What happened with E6?
Says, well, I don't know anything about Isik, but yeah, I know that thing has pretty much made the area uninhabitable, for the most part.
So is it fast? Is it like, can it catch you if you run away? Can it fly?
Let me see. Let me check something.
Like how likely are you to sneak past it?
Says, well, it didn't seem that bright, though it almost seemed like it could sense living people. It is very fast, and it can fly if it wants to. One of our wizards was throwing all sorts of elemental damage at it, which didn't seem very effective. Yeah, it just seemed like it was extremely powerful with necrotic attacks. I wouldn't recommend trying to outrun it. Maybe you could sneak past it, he says, but yeah, it seemed more like it could sense life energy, so that would make it harder to sneak past.
How fast are we talking? Like
So
twice as fast as
he kind of
Or-
describes his encounter, and you would guess its speed and flight speed are probably about 40.
it's not too fast.
No.
Faster than us.
Yeah. Not if we slow it.
He says, well, like I said, it seemed like magical. spells weren't doing as much to it.
How did it deal with the darkness?
Deal with the darkness? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. Did it create darkness? Did it seem to see fine in darkness? Did anyone try casting magical darkness on it?
He says, I don't think anyone cast magical darkness, but the creature was basically made of dark. It was a large being that seemed to exude shadow. I would imagine it could probably see in darkness. As for magic darkness, I don't know.
Did you try any control effects?
No, it didn't seem that smart. It just basically went for people.
Try using it.
Oh, did we use control effects? He says, he thinks. He says, it seems like it was immune to being paralyzed. I remember our wizard using some sort of paralysis spell and nothing seemed to happen. It wouldn't be paralyzed or restrained, so I think it was immune to those. But yeah, the creature itself was pretty, didn't seem the smartest. All it did was go at anything with a life force and just wither it till it was non-existent. The amount of necrotic energy it exuded was well, yeah, you didn't want to be the target of that thing, and even being close to it, you would be withered.
So it really was beast-like and couldn't speak.
It seemed pretty primal. It didn't try to talk to us. Whether or not it could speak, I don't know. I managed to get away because it consumed most of the rest of the expedition. I just kept running, and by the time I looked back, it wasn't behind me anymore. He says, I think one other person got away, but I haven't spoken to him since.
Who?
He says, and he gives you a name. He might be around the market somewhere, though. I don't know. It's unlikely he'd be here the same time I am. Neither of us are regulars. I think last I checked, he was in New Havasgard. He still lives up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's about all I got to say about it. Hopefully that doesn't make you unhappy, he says.
Well, I'm not thrilled, but perhaps you can buy us all a drink with the gem, which should more than suffice you for the rest of the night.
Give me a persuasion check.
18.
He says, yeah, I guess I could buy you some drinks. That's fine. So he will get you all cheap drinks. So you get one thing of ale each.
Riven drinks tea. Riven doesn't drink alcohol. Not here.
Neither does Ripple, but he's still fucking just taking the drinks and just like sliding them across to.
No, Riven's gonna say like, "Can I have tea?"
Can I have your beer?
Bartender nods. He gets you a beer, and he'll get you both teas.
No, I'll go for a beer, and then it will just slide in front of Cal.
Riven will mage hand the teacup up to his mouth and not touch it.
Cal gets 2 beers.
Yep.
All right.
Riven is going to say to Ripple and Cal, I don't think it's a good idea to go to the fort, because I don't think we're ready for this Night Walker thing.
Okay. I can get as close to the fort. We can get into the fort from outside. We can just like run in.
Yeah, but how are we getting everyone out? Can you open a gate inside there and we just portal out?
Yes, for 5 people. The day
Yeah.
after.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I can get 9 people out.
So you'll be able to get us over there, and if there is an emergency or if things go south, you can teleport us out.
Wait, hang on. Can you do it in the way that you pull everybody into your genie vessel, and then you plane shift outside, taking your genie vessel with you, so you can take more than 9, or no?
No,
Okay.
I have to be in the genie vessel. If someone else can cast plane shift, then I can effectively reduce the number of people by, I want to say 7, me and 6 others, or is it me and 5 others?
No matter, I can't plane
me
shift.
and 5 others. So, I can bring 9 people back.
So
Cal and Cal?
I'm
It's
just gonna
the-
message Orchard and ask him how many are with you.
You're just gonna cast it right here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you begin casting a spell, getting a couple of looks from the other patrons. Orcard, what message are you sending him? Go ahead, type it out.
Every person
If
that
there's-
glares at or looks at Tal, they're just going to hear a voice saying, "What the hell are you looking at?" in their heads.
All right.
To Tal and Cal, I can get you out if I need to get you out. Getting everyone out is where I will struggle.
Well, everyone, you're meaning about yourself and Riven?
Yeah.
So you can get us out. Oh, I see. Huh.
Technically,
Well,
if Tal can
well,
banish us, we can banish them.
Yeah, no, that can happen, but I don't think we can reliably do it to ourselves.
No, but
Well,
if we banished Cal and them lot, they can banish us at the same time, so it goes exactly at the same point, so that we're both banished.
It would have to be you banishing me. We
Oh,
can't
that-
have
so
like we can't have spells simultaneously take effect.
Oh, okay.
Like, it would have to be in an order. So I can get rid of Tal and Cal. If you can get rid of me and you,
No,
then
I don't have it. I don't
Yeah.
have. Riven's built for fighting, not for transport.
I can get us out a minute after I get them out. Worst case scenario, it would take us 11 minutes to get out. So I could
Okay,
get
well,
rid of Tal and Cal.
that's way too long. If anything,
I think this is a very bad. Riven's not backing this plan. This is
no,
bad.
and I agree with Riven. Maybe we need to kind of find a scroll of teleportation or something like that as a backup.
Well, the
So-
alternative would be going there, hiding somewhere for 8 hours. If we hide somewhere for 8 hours,
As you're
well, no, we'd have to.
as you're sitting in the tavern area having this discussion, you notice a couple of Shadowkai walk up and come into the tavern, which makes several of the patrons a little bit nervous, and a few people actually leave. One of the Shadowkai elves walks up to the table and smiles and says, "Good evening, friends."
We're talking.
I can see
Riven's
that.
going to. Riven will telepathically ask the barkeep, "Who are these people, and why does everyone look dodgy?"
The barkeep does not reply. He's just seeming a little nervous.
There's no one talking telepathically.
He says, I was hoping I could speak with all of you, actually.
What? You are speaking right now.
No. Sorry, I should have been more clear. I wish to speak with you in the market. The market's. What would he call the place?
Garrison?
What's it been called?
Prison?
Garrison? No. He says he lowers his voice, but he says there's been some accusations of magic being used, and several people are not happy with you. I would like to talk to you all more about this.
Well, who isn't happy with us?
Says the Silent Circle are claiming that you used a charm on one of their people.
Who's
The
the
silent circle.
He sighs. He says, it would be best if we discuss this elsewhere.
Why?
Well, we were
Surely,
about.
whatever you would carry on.
You know what? We were about to teleport away anyway. So why bother? I mean, we're going to be back in our world in like a minute. So if they want to talk to us, they can come here. We can talk here like civilized people. But we're on our way out.
I'm gonna take out the tuning fork to the material plane and just hold it between my fingers, get him ready.
So what are you saying to him, that you're not going to follow him, or that you are?
No, we're
No, we're
not.
not.
We're asking them to come to us because we're about to kind of teleport away back to our world.
He sighs and says, well, he looks back at his people who just sort of sit nearby as he sits down at the table, and he says, well, there was an accusation by one of the thief guild people that you had used some sort of charm on her. And generally, we try to keep the markets free of charms, as we want it to be a fair place to do business.
Really? One of the thieves were moaning about someone tricking them? Seems a bit hypocritical, don't you think? Besides, all it was a little charm just to make her go away in the politest way possible that she didn't get offended.
What? Riven, you used a charm? I thought you convinced him to give you the
Shut
thing.
up, it's not him. They're not talking about him.
So
That's in your head.
he looks at you curiously, and he says, "Him? Have you been using charms on other people?"
I'm just gonna say
No.
to this guy, you're going to want to walk away now. This isn't something that you can deal with. Leave.
Give me a intimidation check.
30, natural 20.
Oh, wow.
He
Thank you
says,
for the enhanced ability.
he says, how did you get to the market, if I might be so curious to ask?
The friend that I charmed, she brought us here off saying that she had a way of finding things that we weren't going to get from the temple. So obviously we took her up on the offer. And when she wasn't able to provide all the things we wanted, we decided that it would be best if we politely and not offending her got her to leave without anything. And unfortunately, the only way we could do that was by charming her to go and find her friend.
He says, well, the shadow market is a area in which trade can happen within the Shadowfell, because our government, in their infinite wisdom, has banned the use of coin. Many different people come here to trade, and the only way we can keep this a fair place to do business is by keeping such magic spells out of it. Now, I don't know who any of you are, but you will be making a powerful enemy if you threaten us, and we do not take kindly to people causing disruptions.
We are sorry, we were not informed about this rule, and we will keep it down in the future.
Give me a persuasion check.
Swap stuff.
Oh,
Nope.
This guy's just immune to being intimidated. Ripple shrinks a little.
so
Riven doesn't.
he leans back. He looks at all of you. He says, there is an argument to be made that you are new to this place. Maybe the markets you come from are okay with trickery and deception, but we try to keep those to a minimum here. He says the Midnight Pyre does what it can to make places like this free of such things.
Oh,
You're from the Midnight Pyre.
He looks at you curiously. He says, oh, you've heard of us.
Well, just to confirm not that I say anything wrong, like, we had someone from the Midnight Pyre help us take
You did.
out.
You helped some
Yeah.
of their people, and they did help you fight the Shadowlord's minions. It was, what was his name?
We're back.
Do I even have the name still?
Yeah, for sure. It's in the journal somewhere.
Alright, well, yeah. You, maybe you don't remember the name of the guy, but yes, he claimed to be from the Midnight Pyre, whoever you worked with.
Yeah, some of your people helped us, or we helped them fight the Shadowlord's minions.
He says, you... why would we say this? He says, you've met some of our people within Gaian.
Yes.
Mora is her name.
Huh?
Mora.
Mora? He thinks for a moment. He says, well, that changes things a bit. It seems that you know something of the Shadowlord and the cultists. He says, where were you headed after this?
Iron.
We were trying to rescue some of our friends who the Shadowlord or his minions captured.
And where were these friends held up, if you don't mind me asking?
An Eldron's watch.
He says, oh. So you know of the cultists up there. Interesting. He says, my apologies. Perhaps we got off on the wrong foot. He says, my name is Civil. It's good to meet you. It appears you've had run-ins with our units that had gone to Gaian. And you might have some information that could be of help to us. Would you be willing to speak with us a bit more? Not here, though.
According to
Inside check, is he just trying to get us alone again to punish us for what we did?
Sure, give me an insight check.
I don't know.
Maybe.
according
I don't
to
trust this guy.
according to the customs of the people here, information is pricey.
He says, valuable information can certainly be pricey. And it sounds like you might have some valuable information. We haven't gotten in touch with any of our units in Gaian, so I would be curious to know more about what happened there.
So what is it you'd give us for the information?
He says, well, maybe we could help each other. It sounds like we may have an enemy, what would it be, a similar enemy. The Children of Shadow are dangerous, and we've been tracking their movements for a while, both here and in Gaian. And apparently some sort of event may have happened in Gaian recently. So if
Some
you...
sort of event, like the banishment of the Shadowlord, or the killing of his vessel.
Or the destruction of the city?
He looks around as you say that, and he says, I really think we should talk in private. As several people now get up and walk out of the tavern.
I want to insight check this guy. No.
So do I. So do I.
Sure. When you say banishment of the Shadowlord, you think that surprised him?
Is he being legit, or is he trying to get us alone to?
No, you don't sense like he's trying to, trick you. He does seem interested more, or he does seem more interested in the group now. Oh, and I just realized we completely missed a break. Why don't we take a quick break?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Be back in a bit.
Sorry, Cal. I didn't mean to shout.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up.
That was funny. You just used a fucking 5th level spell to steal a fucking 200 gold piece of fucking piece of shit.
Hey, it's Riven. That's. We tried to buy it. He wouldn't. Fuck it. Let's cheat. Let's magic that shit. You realize Riven would do that for everything he wanted, right? He'd modify memories for everyone.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, it would just be buying things would be the sort of thing that Ripple wouldn't consider using magic to cheat.
Yeah, Riven's just like, no, fuck it. Why am I paying full price? I can just do this shit. Like, I get my 4 spells after a long rest and don't keep my cash. I actually thought Tal was the one who was going to judge me the worst.
They don't know yet.
No, I know. I was like, oh,
Like-
they don't know. Oh, shit.
And this guy was talking about you casting friends on Emira, so realistically,
Yeah.
they can probably figure that out.
Yeah, Riven's so interested. I thought you cast it. And shut the fuck up. Although they don't. Yeah, he doesn't know I did it either. So yeah, that was still fun. Riven's such a git. I love him.
Yeah, like I'm really tempted just to fucking bounce it out of this place.
Leaving, I don't have a problem with. It's going back to going near that tower. Especially with that Nightwalker thing, I'm a bit apprehensive about.
Well, we don't need to go back to that. We don't need to get to the fort directly. We kind of indirectly go to the fort. But there are prisoners there that are being executed.
No, I get going there and saving them. I entirely get it. The problem for me is the Nightwalker thing, and if we get close, we all fucking die.
So I'm back.
That's my problem with it. That's the mage. Hello.
I mean, my plan for the Nightwalker, if you fight him, was to cast slow on it and never get in range.
Would it work?
Didn't say
Like,
it was immune to it, so.
No, but the problem
Yeah.
is, if it saves, we're fucked. I mean, I can mind whip it. Actually, slow makes it have to choose between an action and a bonus action.
And
Mind
half
whip.
movement speed.
Yeah, mind whip, if I remember correctly, makes it either have to move or attack.
Yeah, so Ripple's a slippery fucker. He can get out of most places. Like,
Yeah, I'm not so slippery, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't
As long
transport.
as long as I'm up, I can get people out. Historically, me being up is an issue.
It's because you get too close.
I mean, if we can go back and forth, we can also take Quentin and he can cast Path Without a Trace on us.
Yeah, we can gather. Like, realistically, we could go back. I could bring 9 people with us. Yeah. I can bring 9 people with us. Well, up to 9 people, plus myself. Plus myself? Yeah. I think it's plus myself. One sec. I'll double check that in a sec.
I mean, there are 22 prisoners, but I mean, as a player, we don't have to take them all, but my
No.
character would like to take them all.
Yeah, but we can't get them all out, and it depends how risky it is to go back.
Well, back. So if we have a backup plan, you're talking about the Planeswalker?
Yeah, plane shift.
All right,
No,
I'm
no,
back.
Plane shift lets me specify where we're landing. So I can specify we are going to land in the dungeons of Arden's Fall.
Mm.
Yeah, but then we have to wait a day until you can use it again, right?
Yes.
Does anyone have Arcana?
Not
No.
trained.
All
No.
right.
I mean, Quentin has it if you
Give
get
it a
back to him.
Wait, Quentin has it?
NPC
Yeah, my
Quentin,
side
not
click.
Quentin.
Oh,
and
your guy.
Not me.
my guy.
So just to, I mean, you'd probably know a little bit about the spell. You can't specify exactly where you're going to end up without having a teleportation circle. You'll appear somewhere near where you want to be, according to the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Which
the
could
best
be within,
plan,
like, 100 miles, I think.
like the best plan would be to go somewhere outside of the keep, sneak in.
Yeah, it's
Or,
likely if you...
Wait a day first, sneak in, and then.
Yeah, if you use the name of the keep, it would likely put you somewhere, like, in the vicinity, but, yeah, it wouldn't guarantee you'd be inside it.
In the hunting grounds of the Nightwalker.
Yeah, you'd probably end up somewhere around the keep. At least from what I read from the thing, it's not specific unless you have a teleportation circle that you're using. It's just kind of in the general area.
And I agree with Stal that approaching it and scouting it is probably a better way anyway, because there's something to be said about the timeline of this Nightwalker and the ritual that was done in Isek. They both happened
I
100
want to
years
get
ago.
more info on the Nightwalker, because I think that we need to at least have a way of dealing with him before we start going to save the people getting executed. But then they will die, so.
Well, which is why if we just have like an escape route that is easy and quick to do, like a scroll of teleportation that can take us anywhere, doesn't matter really where, out of there,
Yeah, I mean,
we can. Yeah, go ahead.
If we use plane shift to get there, and then just camp for a day and watch, then we will have plane shift again to get out.
So, are you going to follow this elf, Civil, when he asks you to come with him someplace?
Yes.
Okay. So, there's definitely seems like a lot of patrons left. It is getting kind of late, though. And you would get the feeling that people are kind of avoiding this group as you go through the marketplace. Just with your insights, your passive insights. So he leads you down the tunnel of the market to one of the side tunnels, and starts taking you towards what appears to be a gated area. Two guards there would nod at him as he walks through, motioning for you to follow.
Okay.
And it seems like there's a lot of steam in this area. As you come to, as you move past the gates, there's like a door, and you're getting the sense of like the air is kind of moist here, and it's hot.
On approach to whatever this place is, Ripple is continually casting Mage Hand.
Okay, just mage hand
Every
floating.
round. No, it's invisible. It requires no components for me to cast. I'm just continually casting Mage Hand.
Okay. So he enters the door here, and there are a couple of attendants inside behind a desk. This almost looks like some sort of hotel area, but very fancy. There's like a fire burning in the hearth. The Shatterkai looks up to Civil and says, "Your usual room, sir?" And he nods and he says, "I have some guests with me." And he says, "Of course." And he slips him a key. Civil would then take you into a back area, unlocking a door and motioning for you all to come in the room.
Still just repeating Mage Hand every round.
All right, so you enter the room. He has his servants outside. He's going to lock the door as you all come in, and he says, "All right, so tell me about what happened in Gaian and what this has to do with the Shadowlord."
Why?
He says, "Because
Information.
I might be able to help you if your friends are being held at the keep."
Well, we know your people, Milo and Mora, helped us actually defeat the Shadowlord.
He says, "Are they still alive?"
Milo, we don't know. Mora, unfortunately, not.
He nods. He says, "All of our people who we sent into Gaian to investigate the cultists have disappeared. We haven't heard from any of them. So you're saying you met them and Milo is missing in action?"
Yes. Now, as a player, I don't remember if Milo. I think Milo left us, and we don't know where he went.
Yeah,
I don't think
he didn't say much. After the fall of the Shadowlord, he sort of went his own way, but he didn't say where he was going.
I think Milo was not there for the Shadowlord. He was there when we attacked the Shadowkai that had taken his friends prisoner, and we in the church. And
I think
after that, the player left. But so I'm not sure what happened to Milo after that.
I think he was in the background and he sort of just left without saying anything, but he was sort of in the background during the Shadowlord fight.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So he was. Okay. All
So,
right.
but after that, he sort of vanished.
But Mora was also a midnight buyer. She was held. She's the one that shot from this kind of crystal at Malek.
Yeah, she was
She was a
trapped.
midnight. She was a midnight buyer, right?
She claimed to be, yeah.
Okay. Just remembering.
Yeah, so you tell him about what you remember about his people?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people vanished when we defeated the Shadowlord, and
Yeah.
we found out that they are held prisoner there
Hmm.
in Airman's Watch. So
says,
he might be with.
I wonder if he's being held at the keep too. He says, you're positive that this keep is where they are?"
Yes. If you give me a second, I can try something, and I'm gonna cast Sending at Milo. Like something like I'm with, what was his name?
Oh, Civil is the name he gave you.
I'm with Civil.
Syvil. Civil.
Um,
So if you cast that, targeting Milo, you would not get a response.
Yeah.
Which means either, I mean, it could mean a few things. He could be unconscious, he could be dead, it could have failed for some reason, like he could be someplace where it would be blocking magic. But yeah, you don't get a response.
Yeah, he doesn't answer my sending, so
Huh.
I can use sending on the other prisoners, so he's probably not with them.
He says, well, the fact that they're at Aldrin's watch is very valuable. I didn't think anyone was still at the fort due to the Night Walker.
Is the
Wonder-
Nightwalker working with them?
No, there's such a creature. Well, he pauses, unless they found a way to control it. But it's extremely unlikely. Still possible. That would explain how they've kept off our radar. I wouldn't use the word radar. It would explain how they've kept hidden from us. If they found a way to use the fort as a home base and somehow keep the Night Walker at bay, it'd be an extremely valuable guardian. He says there's been an uptick in activity all over the Empire. Within the last few weeks, the Children of Shadow seem to have come out of hiding and have been causing a lot of trouble. He says, and you mentioned that you had banished the Shadowlord. I had thought he was held prisoner within Gaian.
Give him a full rundown again.
Gonna go through the story? Alright.
Yeah.
So you start talking about what you experienced leaving out Night Weather? Or are you gonna...
Well,
Or you want to talk about it this time?
I mean, do we want to mention Night Weather?
Probably
Just-
not.
Just the fact that they were trying to open a vault or something like that, but without we don't need to
Okay.
mention. We know what's in the vault.
Yeah, so you leave that info out. He listens to your story, and he says, this is really bad. Shadowlord's been trapped for millennia within Gaian, in a prison. We made a deal with the dwarves of that era. We sent them aid to help keep him hidden. How is it that he was freed? And now you're saying there are two of them? He stands up and starts pacing as if he's thinking. He says, I have to...
Well, one of them seems to have started manifesting himself 100 years ago, which may match the arrival of the Nightwalker. So, because that's when the ritual that destroyed Isaac was done, and we know the one that did that was one calling himself a Shadowlord named Malek.
But how is this kept secret from us? Unless even the
Did you-
cultists didn't know. Go ahead, were you saying something?
We made a deal with mortals on a plane that has historically not lasted very long, and expected the prisoner to remain imprisoned.
He says, we didn't have much of a choice. He cannot be imprisoned within the Shadowfell, and the dwarves seem to have found some sort of ritual to trap him. It was working. We just went with it. It was the only option. I mean, we couldn't just free him and try to trap him elsewhere.
DM.
And there was supposed to be a failsafe to keep him trapped even through the cataclysm. Go ahead, what was your question?
I was gonna say, 100 years ago in the Feywild, would Riven and Ripple have been alive or know of anything that would have occurred when Isaac got destroyed roughly? Like, would there have been like anything that happened there that affected? Kind of like a ripple.
How old are you?
I don't know, because it kind of depends on the timey-wimey crossover thing, like how time works in the Feywild.
Is there a time difference in the Feywild? I didn't think there was.
Yeah. Well,
It depends on which setting we are based in, and this is a U setting, so it would be your decision.
I'll say that it was the same time. So
Time
yeah,
zone.
it would be the
Okay.
same 100 years as it was in Gaian.
Okay. So would there be any stories, because Riven's probably about 20, would there be any stories, or would you have heard anything of like some, I don't know, effect in the Feywild that
Do you
when it
have
happened?
history?
Yes, I do.
Give me a history check. Oh, 100 years
Uh,
exactly. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that could be related. I mean, all sorts of weird things happen in the
Well,
Feywild. You'd probably have to
I'm gonna-
research it more with a
I'm
9.
gonna just
Would I know
okay.
anything? Been older of the
22.
two?
Do you have training in history?
Yeah.
Okay. So 100 years ago. You remember something about a corruptive influence that had been affecting one of the realms of the Fae. Though, from what you remember, it was put under control. Like they were basically like some sort of invasion of necrotic energies, which can happen from time to time. But from what you remember, it was put. They did get it under control.
Okay. And I'm here investigating the same form of issue.
Yeah, the corruptions.
Riven's just thinking that if this Nightwalker occurred because of whatever they did in Isik 100 years ago, I don't know what you know about the Feywild at the minute, but is it this thing of whatever he did in Isik then caused a Nightwalker, which has like sent shockwaves across, radiating out? That's what Riven's thinking.
Yeah, that's possible. It
So
can be. It's either emanated from here, or maybe emanated from Isaac, or maybe happening all over the place at the same time too.
So Civil would ask, have you told anyone else about the Shadow Lords?
Just the church.
Well, I suppose as much as I dislike the theocracy, it's good that they know. Enemy of your enemy and all that. He says, I need to go speak with my masters about this. This is grave news. And definitely valuable. He says, if you need a place to stay, you're welcome to stay in my room here and use the inn. If you want to do some more business in the shadow market, I would ask that you not charm any of our people in the future, though. You've already angered the Silent Circle, and it sounds like you charmed someone else, which I'm not even going to ask questions about. But please be careful about using magics to do such things, as we have to keep everyone who uses the market happy, the factions.
Riven will turn around, look and go, alright, I won't do friends like I did to her, but the other one, since you do not have any idea who it was or what I did, doesn't matter.
Do you say that out loud?
No. Riven says, he'll say about the not casting friends bit and then say telepathically to Ripple the last bit about
okay.
the
I see.
modify memory.
But yeah, I'll try to smooth things over with the Silent Circle. Apparently, Emira wasn't too happy that you used a charm on her, and the whole organization is a little bit pissed at you. But yeah, try not to use charms if you use the market.
You can tell her that we did intend to pay her once we got ourselves some money.
He nods. He says, I'll see. Maybe she'll be willing to listen. Is there anything else you need from me while you're down here?
You might want to advise them that if they do come looking for trouble, they won't survive it. So they either
yes, that's a
payment
great idea. I'll go
and
threaten
fire.
one of my factions.
Mhm.
I think I'll just try to handle it. Just
Not a threat, it's just a warning.
yes, a warning. All right, I will.
Also,
yeah.
find some books on night. What is it? Night on the Nightwalker and what happened 100 years ago, around there.
He says, we have some information on the creature. I'll see what I can dig up. Will you be staying here at least the night?
Yeah.
All right.
No.
We should probably stay upstairs, like in the city, because the church wanted to contact us again. Would be suspicious if we weren't there.
He says, well, yes, I suppose if you had already made contact with the church, it's probably good to speak with them if they ask to. But we'll try to seek you out. if you're in the city, I'll send some of my people and we'll try to find you. I assume you're at one of the inns.
Yeah, the one near the north gate.
All right. I would like to talk to you more, so please at least wait a day before leaving town, if you can help it. Maybe we could work together to help save your friends.
All right.
All right, so he's going to go at this point. He leaves you his room key in case you decide to stay here. It is a much nicer room than your other room.
Not as nice as the register room though, so still a downgrade.
So he takes off. What does the group want to do?
So
I'm
I'm
look
not sure.
through the
Yeah, go
market
ahead.
and see if I can sell some spell scrolls still.
Alright, so selling magical items is a downtime activity that usually takes a little while.
Oh.
It can be done, and I think spell scrolls... Oh, I have to go look at it, but basically the rules for it are in Tasha's. You could definitely do it with the market. It just takes time because there isn't like a there isn't like a stall that just sells magical items. You'd basically be looking for someone who wants to buy your scrolls, which you do by talking to people and seeing who wants what. Though actually for scrolls, you might be able to find something quicker, like I said, because scrolls are a little bit more common than other magical items. But generally, like buying and selling magical items is a kind of a more involved downtime activity. Yeah, does the group want to stay here? Do you want to go back up? What do you want to do?
I think we should
So
sleep in upstairs, or in the city proper.
Agreed.
so in the inn where we left Dijaz, and we go back over there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So as you're heading out, the Midnight Pyre guy will say the hotel here does have some nice steam baths if you are looking to relax. If you are heading back up, I can bring you to one of the gatekeepers, and they can port you back to New Havasgard.
Yes, please.
He nods. So we'll say he takes you back to the cage areas. You would go with one of the gatekeepers who will teleport you back into the house here. And this is probably a good place to end because we are over 2 o'clock. So
Okay.
why don't we do MVP votes? All right, I got 2 votes. Oh, 3 votes. Oh, kind of a split vote, but Riven with 2 votes, your MVP.
That modify memory.
Your trickery has won you the day.
Well, it made us contact the Midnight Fire too.
Yeah.
I'm still convinced that this guy gave it to you because you said so. You said something in his ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happened. He said something in his ear and he gave it to us. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty
all we
much.
said.
No one knows I did a spell.
Calgra is
Yeah.
amazed by your persuasive ability.
Oh, this is how Riven would get everything.
Yeah. No, it makes too much sense for Brevin to do that. Yeah.
I need to get heightened. Heightened meta magic so I can give them all disadvantage against me when I do it.
So I'm kind of curious to hear how Riven went back through the zone of anti-magic again.
Oh, he freaked the fuck. Like, he held back until, like, that door was open and then
And just
fucking
flew out.
flew.
Real quick.
No,
Ah!
Okay. If he
Riven,
could see
no,
could he see the other
I-
side of it? Like when they do it, can he see from there to there the other side? Is he just dimension door it?
No, you'd have
I
to
would-
walk through the house probably.
I was
Okay.
going to say Riven and Ripple do not pass through the anti-magic field again, as we do so in the vessel.
You just go through in your genie's vessel.
So that's an interesting thing. What's happening to the genie vessel when you're crossing the zone of anti-magic?
My assumption would be you can't use it. So because it's basically, from what I understand, it's a gate to an to a interdimensional
Dependent
pocket.
plane.
So you just
Okay.
couldn't leave the plane or enter through the vessel while it's in that area. It just disables the gateway.
Tal and Kalgrod would also have the option of traveling through in the vessel if they wished.
So I will actually whisper to Tal on the way back. Hey, if one day we need to get rid of these two guys, we just leave the vessel right there in that zone of anti-magic.
Just trap them. It's like, why can't we leave? Oh god.
Why don't you do that right now?
No,
You can just plane shift him in here though.
I can't blame you from in there.
I don't think he would be able to hear in the zone of anti-magic. Actually,
I can hit out of the vessel.
I don't
that's, like,
think-
not a magical effect. It's just the vessel is
if
somewhere
you're
I can hit
in
through it.
if you're in another plane, you probably couldn't, because that would be disabled. Because at least my understanding is that because the anti-magic doesn't disrupt the plane, it just disrupts the connection from the vessel to the prime material plane. So you probably would just be unable to use it to hear or enter or do anything, because it would be a normal object.
Yeah.
Because I don't
okay.
think you're actually inside your vessel. That's just like a more of a representation of of your home.
Okay, makes sense. Kalgrod and Tal would have been invited into the vessel before we got to the cages.
Well, who's going to carry the vessel? Oh, I guess you could send your ferry.
Brig.
Sprig.
Actually, what would happen to Dija when it crosses anti-magic?
Deja is magical, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing she would just wink out.
Okay.
You probably have to resummon her.
Okay.
That would be my guess. I mean, anti-magic is...
What I would think.
It's kind of weird. So it's like Star Trek trying to explain, like, how the science of magic works.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was just a fun thought.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm going to take some notes, but you're all welcome to hang out or take off if you wish. Apologies if I seemed a little low energy today. I'm still recovering from COVID a bit.
Man, that sucks. Sorry for that.
Yeah. Hopefully
Well, get better. Yeah, get better, and talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye.
Yep.
See
Bye.
what more fairy fucking shenanigans we can get up to. I'm just waiting for you to do fucking modify memory on something that's just way too fucking pricey for Raven to give you for free.
It's like the wish spell. You'd probably get it, but there'd probably be consequences.
Oh no, it's one of those things that it only works when it works, and if it don't, it don't. But it's still a fun way to cheat.
Yeah, like I said, as long as you didn't get caught. But you'd probably get caught. Well, it would depend on what you were trying to steal. If you were trying to steal magical items using it, most likely there would be people there besides the guy selling, and there might be some magical, like, defenses, or else anyone could steal magical items. So it would just depend.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna make it clear. Riven will eventually try and use it to steal magic items if he can't afford to buy it, or he won't sell it for what he wants them to. He 100% will, but he might alter it from given it for free to altering the price to what he wants to pay.
Yeah. Ripple will, like, if he goes somewhere where he thinks there might be an anti-magic field, like, just the continual casting of Mage Hand is, like, a great way to fucking figure it out. So if we go into a shop and my Mage Hand stops working, then I can let you know instantly. So we have ways of detecting anti-magic fields other
Well-
than our disguisers.
You'd unlikely be going into a shop to buy magical items. Like I said, it's more just like you find someone who wants to sell it, then they come meet you somewhere and make the arrangement. Where the price would be negotiated before you even met him, then like at the last moment, like you would do the exchange. At which point you could, do whatever you want to try to fuck with them. But yeah, it's definitely harder to do figuring out how you would
I'm
steal
gonna
it.
100% guarantee that now that they know Riven does charm shit, people are gonna be more on the alert. I would.
Yeah,
that.
well, people who know him anyway.
Or have
I mean-
an idea of what he can do.
Yeah, and the other bad thing is, if people hear about what you're doing, you might just not find people to trade with anymore. They might just refuse to meet you. If people like say that their stuff was swindled somehow. So there's definitely downsides to trying to cheat, but you also could get a couple of magical items by doing it, probably. So risk reward, same as anything else. I don't believe in just punishing you for trying to cheat people. It's more just if you get caught by someone.
Like I said, when we level up, I'm taking the meta magic Titan, and then I'm gonna impose disadvantage on everyone I do that to.
Yeah, no, imposing disadvantage on a spell that big is just like fucking amazing.
We need to beat the villain, and he won't allow us to beat him. Hang on, give me a minute. Meta magic, modified memory. You want to lose.
Legendary resistance, I make my saving throw.
I'll make sure we burn through that quicker.
That's true.
Dominate person! Just dominate. Burn through all, then just go.
You know
"I've got
what? Like, it becoming a fucking battle encounter every time we need to fucking buy something is maybe a little too much hassle. You walk into the shop, roll initiative.
No, everybody else walks into the shop. It's fine. It's the minute Riven would walk into the shop, it's rolling initiative. Everyone. Hey, I've got other cheat ways. I might just pick up the item and then just dimension door the fuck out. And just... I'm outside the building already. Hey!
Oh yeah, like I can just fuck off to a different dimension. I can plane shift it to a different plane. Like if we actually want to go full fucking thievery, then we can go full fucking thievery. It's not an issue.
I know. Riven's not built for plane or travel. Riven's built for manipulation and fucking destruction.
Ripple is built for fucking being a slippery bastard. Like, if I'm fucking conscious in a battle, we have an escape plan.
I probably should start looking into, like, when we level up to get some better transportation spell.
Mate, when I hit 15th, like, transportation is not going to be a fucking issue.
I know, you get wish.
I don't get wish at 15th.
No, you get that little wish, though. It's like your,
I do. I get limited wish.
Hmm.
Oh no, person is dead. I wish he wasn't dead. Revivify. Oh no, we need to go to this certain place. Oh, that's a hassle. I can't be bothered to walk. I wish to teleport. I think I get actual wish at 17th.
Just cheat the whole time. Yeah, we'll just do this. I've got wish before everybody else does. Let's fucking pull it off. Oh god, then we gotta go down to Burning Towers tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be fine. Phase 3, going down without a hitch.
Glad you're brave. I'm not.
Yeah, no. Phase 3, going perfectly to plan. Phase 4 should be much easier now that Phase 3 is going successfully.
I still haven't decided if Quinton's realised that the plan is to go and destroy the other towers.
Fucking said we'll hit the 2 towers and then we'll go.
I know,
hit the
but
other.
I didn't realise.
I know.
I don't know if that was just me not paying attention, just like, no, he knew. Or I'm going to be like, no, he didn't know, so we haven't come.